Howdy everybody, welcome to another Video Rot. This is episode 47. This ain't no normal Video Rot. This is a very special Video Rot because we have here these two same fuckers you see all the time. So it's not really that special, but Mac and Zach, it is special because we're doing Video Rot and they don't do this really. I don't think Mac's ever been on Video Rot.
No.
Yes, I
Yeah, you
have.
were.
Yeah, oh yeah, yes. Yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Then we
trying
need to do an
harness-
update.
We're trying to harness the come from the gods to do a great show for you guys. We do it at the beginning of every episode. But you
We need
usually
to do
never
an,
see
an
it.
update on
Usually-
day one.
Usually they don't see it. He started the stream before we knew. We were still doing our pre-game ritual.
Okay, yeah, exactly that. So anyway, this one is so special. We wanted to get more than just me and Todd on for this because we're going to do a tier list. It's that time of the month. We usually like to do tier lists every now and again. So do Mac and Zach. It's not really that unique because Mac and Zach do a lot of emo bullshit bands.
Mac,
They
we've
do-
all
they-
got hats on except for you, you pussy.
Silhouette, thank you so much for the donation. Had a dream the other night that Adrian married Aaron. Fuck off.
Hell
That's
yes.
weird.
That's sexy. That's a sexy good time.
Hopefully it was just wait, never mind. But anyway, so we're gonna do that. But first, we're just gonna shoot the breeze. We're gonna see what's up with everyone. Talk about what's new. I don't know. Max got diarrhea or something. Why is he running right?
He's going to get a hat so that it all fits. Or the
It's
hat gang.
vitals.
All right. So, Mac and Zach, are you familiar with how we do Video Rot? Are you familiar how we do things in our house?
Hell yes.
None of
Hell
the
yes.
shit where I come into your guys' show and you guys just rule the roost and run over everything. This is our house. So
We have a format.
yeah, not really, kind of, but so we're. Oh, wait a second. Was this my week to have the segments?
Yes. You didn't get them?
What a fucking
Totally forgot.
Riri. What a
That's
fucking
okay.
highly regarded motherfucker.
I have been running around like a chicken with its head cut off. That I just
I'll
totally
do
didn't
them.
think
I'll
about.
do the name that Kino fucking screenshot, baby.
You'll do it.
I'm in.
Get it set.
I'll
Okay,
do it.
you got it. Can you get it set up before? But okay, so we'll do that in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know when you have that set up, and we'll just do whatever you can scrounge up.
Yeah,
That'll be
that's fine.
fun. And then we'll do a choose your destiny at the very end. So if you want to do something like that on the fly, just two things, this or that, you could be in charge of that. But while Zach is multitasking and looking for that, Mac, what's up, man? What movie did you just get back from? Let's talk. Let's just talk shop.
Bro, I just came back from the fucking Red Door Insidious.
How was it? I didn't even know that was out.
It just came out today. Know what I'm saying?
Did you get an
Dog.
advance copy?
Listen, bro, I fucking snuck in with the duster on and fucking bootlegged that shit, bro. One
Oh
more.
yeah. You wore that
Uh,
hat so they. He wore that
I'll
hat so they
say-
didn't see his eyes.
To me, it was good, but it was more
It
of
sucked
a,
at the same time. It
yeah,
sucked
wha-
at the same time.
Yeah. It wasn't as scary as the other ones. It wasn't really like focused on like I guess being scary, really. Which
Were
is
any of them scary?
yeah.
Did I miss the memo on that?
I can
The
only
first
remember
one was
maybe the
alright.
first one, yeah. I
That's-
didn't
that
see
was
the
all
other
Well,
right.
that's what I mean like just like situations, you know what I'm saying? Like the shots and shit. Like
The only thing that
they weren't as like
Scary.
hold your breath like the person's getting chased for like 20 minutes.
I don't think I've ever held my breath in a movie. I don't think I've ever had those like heart
Aaron,
palpitations.
shut up. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about anyone. Not
Okay.
just
Red
you,
Door. Who
Aaron.
directed this movie? I don't even know.
Patrick Wilson, the actor, he actually,
Oh, okay.
he actually
Fucking
got
the
to,
Chad himself. That dude is a Chad. What a king.
He
You know
is
why he's a Chad?
yeah.
Because he's a huge Metallica fan. That's a fact.
What a fucking king.
So he's a
showed-
beta?
He shows up at their concerts or special gigs, man. So he represents. So even if the movie sucks, I got nothing but nice things to say about the guy.
So are these Insidious movies and the Conjuring movies in like the same universe? Or
No, but you could be fooled because everything feels like the extended Juan universe. Because all the aesthetic is very similar. The demons look similar, and when you watch that first movie and you see that like red Darth Maul looking demon thing that's like dancing to fucking Tiny Tim, all that shit. It's kind of cool at first, but then after you watch the other Conjuring movies and you keep seeing like what looks like the same demons over and over again, you watch that Annabelle movie and you see like the demon. It's like this just looks like the fucking Conjuring. It looks like the Tiptoe by the Window demon. I don't know. It gets a little old hat.
Yeah, I never saw any of those. I did like The Conjuring a lot. I did see the first Insidious, but the other ones I haven't. Annabelle,
didn't-
never saw Annabelle.
You
or
never
any of
saw
those.
it? Oh, you're not missing out. They get marginally better as they go. Like the first one is absolutely trash. It was directed by John R. Leonetti, who only had ever directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Ugh.
Good on him. And then like 20 years later, he directs that piece of shit. But he's a DP normally.
He's
Which
two
one
for
are you
two.
talking about?
But he's a DP. He's been a DP on a lot of big movies. It's just when they
Annabelle.
actually, yeah, Annabelle, the first Annabelle.
Oh, it's
That-
horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Then there was
I like the second one. It's not bad.
I don't remember Annabelle Creation, and there's Annabelle. I don't remember what they're called.
The third
But
one.
the second one is marginally better,
That's what I'm saying. I like the second one.
but it's not very
bad.
good. It's still not very good. But the
They're still
third
good.
one is the best of the three. The best. It feels
Because
like
it goes back to the house. Of
yeah. It's but
The
it
third
feels like
one is the best of the three, and it's like a 6 out of 10.
yeah, exactly. It literally goes from like a 2 out of 10, maybe a 4 out of 10 to
Yeah,
like maybe a
Annabelle
6 out of 10.
Didn't hit me or like The Conjuring or Insidious.
The third one feels like Conjuring Light though, because it's in the house and you have all
Right.
that stuff. It's kind of weird.
So
But
then it's that's why it's the best one.
Speaking of 6 out of 10, I did watch Megan last night, and I gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was solid.
I thought it was decent. I think it's better than the Chucky movie.
I did too.
better.
I was entertained.
oh, you're talking about
basically-
Megan?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it last night.
It's basically what
you
the Chucky movie, the Child's Play remake should have been. Really,
Right.
You must did you copy me? Did you see that I watched it the night before you did?
No, I saw it was on Amazon Prime.
I thought you were stalking my letterbox. It's been on there for a minute and I finally watched it. I saw you watched it the day after I did, so I just watched it too, like 2 nights ago or whatever. And yeah, I thought it was a 7 out of 10. I thought it was fun. I had no hopes going into it, but yeah, it's exactly what Zach said. It's just like that Mark Hamill Chucky should have been. They just did it better.
I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
stupid how she was running all fours, but other than that, I thought it was cool.
I thought it was fine because the whole movie's fucking stupid. If
Creepy
you
as
just leave,
fuck.
I
if you
thought that
leave
was
your
the
brain
best.
at the door.
It's
that was the
creepy.
best. That's the best scene in the movie. And fucking, I hated that they didn't have the balls to just say that kid got on top of that doll because he wanted to, because he's a kid and wanted.
That was
to
kinda
fuck the
weird.
doll.
That was
It
wanted
was
to fu-
getting rapey. It was
all you
getting
had to
rapey.
do. All you had to do was be like, "Fucking, it's like a girl. I want to see the boobies." But like they gave him a reason to be on top of the doll that wasn't. He just wanted to fuck the doll, and it's like that's unbelievable. He's a child. Fucking, there's a doll. Nobody's watching. He can fuck it. Nobody's gonna know. He's fucking the doll. Like we don't have to make up any reason for him to get on top of that doll.
But I like the whole on fours thing in the woods because to me it was just kind of on theme with the rest of the movie because it was silly. It wasn't taking itself seriously. I actually laughed out loud when she started running on all fours chasing the kid. I'm like, what?
That's
dude.
creepy as fuck. That scared
But-
the fuck out of me.
It was it was dumb, but it was supposed to be dumb. It was completely self-aware. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like I said, it was better, like you said, better than the Child's Play remake. It literally makes the Child's Play remake obsolete. There
It
was
was
no
kinda
reason
like-
to watch that.
It was kind of like fucking Dolly Dearest Part 2.
I think they
Dolly
could have
Dearest is
went for a hard R on the Megan though, because I would have thought it would be a little bit better if they can
Oh,
show
yeah.
some actual gore to it.
It was originally just PG-13. They only made it like, or no, it was originally R, and they fucking cut it to PG-13 because of the memes. Because like it got big in the meme
TikTok.
generation.
It was like
they got
TikTok,
big on
yeah.
TikTok with that stupid dance and but didn't they release an unrated version? I don't think that's what
I
I
don't know.
watched.
I saw the PG-13 or whatever it was.
Yeah, because I think I think the only like I don't know. I guess the most violent kill you had was the neighbor, where she's like putting the chemicals all over.
She literally
Yeah.
kills a kid in the movie. Fucking
No, she rips off his little rubber ear, and then he
Throws him into
gets hit by-
traffic. Yeah.
he gets hit by a car, which is pretty cool. I gotta admit, it was PG-13, so I was expecting something like that. So that did kind of come as a little bit. Of
I
a
saw the
shock when he
unrated
got
cut.
crushed.
I
Oh,
saw
you
the
did?
unrated cut. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I saw streaming.
I just
They
watched
showed
what
it.
was.
I remember his fucking. I remember seeing that kid die, and it put a big smile on my face. Like they don't do that in Hollywood movies. They need to start doing that more often.
Well, then
They
how do
used
we know
to.
we didn't watch the unrated cut, Todd? Did we watch the unrated cut? I
No,
watched-
on Amazon it said PG-13.
Oh, because I watched that kid get rolled over by a truck.
Oh, I saw
I
that
mean-
part. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Who knows?
It's
Yeah,
kid
what-
friendly. It's a nice truck.
Yeah, we should kill more kids in movies. I don't get why they don't.
You guys ever think it's funny to kill a kid while they're sleeping?
You said that part out loud. That's the part you keep to yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, no.
just playing.
Okay.
He's like, did I just say that out loud?
So what else is going on? What about you, Zach? What have you been watching? Or
What fucking have I been watching? Fucking I watched the new season of Beavis and Butthead. I finished that. If it's even finished, there's like
The
12
second,
episodes.
it's
of
still
it.
the second one, right? They didn't come out with another one, did they?
It's still the second season.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's
I
fun
think I
shit.
finished it. Yeah, it was
What
really
else did I
good.
watch? I don't fucking remember what else I watched. Fucking someone else go. You're putting me on the spot.
Well, you
Another one
watched Megan.
I watched this movie called Deadstream. This was a Shudder original movie. Very interesting. I would highly recommend it. Checking it out. It's batshit crazy. It's about a a fake YouTube streamer going into a haunted house, and it's pretty fucking funny. And they have some good gore in it, so I would recommend watching that on Shudder.
Hell yeah.
Has anybody watched any? I haven't watched any Joe Bob. I kind of fell off Joe Bob the last couple seasons, and I always catch up to it later. Like I wait till they're all out, and then I just kind of get around to it, and then I'll like do a little binge sesh over a few weeks, kind of casually. But I don't watch it as it's airing or anything like that.
I watched Magic Mike's Last Dance.
I just
Nice.
watched that the other night.
That is the biggest piece of shit, and I actually liked the first two. But this one
What's
was
her name in it
horrible.
is hot.
Salma Hayek.
Selma,
Oh my
I thought
God.
she was terrible, but
She was sexy.
no, I did like Channing Tatum.
Yeah, he was sexy too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Chatting Tatum.
Even my wife, after like a half an hour, she's like, "This movie is fucking terrible," and she loves the Magic Mike movies.
Yeah, they keep going south with him. Like none of them make any sense after the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't continue on. They just start way ahead somewhere and they just let it all out.
Definitely a pandemic movie because you can tell by the way they filmed the thing.
I don't know why. I don't know what about those movies spoke to you guys. Like, hey, that speaks to me. I have to go.
They're
watch Magic
funny.
Mike.
They're funny, dude. Just the cast is funny.
Sometimes I like to clear my palate.
Yeah.
Is that the story behind you watching that gay porn for 15 minutes before you turned it off?
It might have been. I don't know. I'll have to check that out.
That great story where it's like, oh, I was just looking for the fuck your butt guy. It's like, but I watched it for 45 minutes. Or it's like, hey, Zach, this guy looks like you or something. It's like 50 minutes deep into the porn. Like, why? What?
Sometimes you scroll through shit, and sometimes you end up in like gay porn. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like,
that's how
like, the
algorithms work. They
features,
know
the
what you
features.
search,
No,
Mac.
that's not.
They know.
No.
They know.
It's in those things where like it's like everything, and you have to uncheck it. It's those, and I'll be scrolling through, and you'll see the funniest shit, and I'm like, all right, bet.
Have you seen that first Magic Mike, Aaron?
Try not to come. I bet you cannot last.
Yeah.
Have you seen that
Play this
first one,
game.
Aaron?
No, I've never seen those.
Well, we're gonna watch that when I get down there. We're gonna watch that.
No, I want to watch that shit.
Yeah,
man.
you can watch
Am
with
I
your,
next?
your mom and your
Literally.
fiance. Yeah, we'll all
What?
watch together.
The next episode of Cinema has to be Todd coming on, and we do the whole trilogy.
Okay.
I'm all right. I've got a backlog as it is, man. I'm not gonna waste that shit on Magic Mike.
I watch that at 4
They're
times
hysterical,
speed.
dude. They're hysterical.
Four
Four
times
times.
speed.
I watch that shit at 4 times speed.
That's funny. So what if I like I said, I watched Megan. Whenever you look on my letterbox, Todd, and you see movies like I watched last night, stuff like Identity Thief with Melissa McCarthy,
Mhm.
that's usually the kind of movies I watch with like the lady, because those are the break bread movies. Like, all right, like I'll settle for a dumb comedy that's mindless. It's funny because like the first year, she watched anything and everything I wanted to watch. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Then as you get settled in after
Yeah,
like
she doesn't
by,
wanna watch your
by
shit.
year 3, it's like she ain't having that shit
No.
anymore. I have to watch any movie of mine that's like quote unquote, as she calls them, fucked up. I have to like watch in hiding in a different room, and I got to find time, and then you got to deal with, why aren't you spending time in here with me? Like, because I want to watch my shit sometimes, and you don't want me to. I'm like, I'll watch it in bed. She's like, well, I'll have nightmares. So it's like, okay, well then we got to figure this out. So you'll see a lot of those obvious movies like that that are just like yeah, okay, I'll settle for that.
On your recommendation, I did watch Extra, and I thought it was really, really solid, man. Fun
I love
movie.
it. I love Extra because it's so absurd. What
Yeah,
about that
it's
like
crazy.
weird that weird Extra reverse birth
Yes.
scene
Oh,
is,
yeah.
and I love how budget it is, but they
Mhm.
use that budget so well because
Actually great.
it looks shitty and cheap, but in a really charming way. And Extra is the thing. I get it. Like that's the kind of thing I would watch in the bedroom our first couple years together. That would probably give her nightmares. Like I probably flew too close to the sun on Wings of Pastrami, as they say, right? Or it's like it was okay, and then when I
Yeah.
start pulling out extra and just weird shit, just like, yeah, you can't do this anymore. Get
They
out.
remind me of like a Bad Taste type of film, which I love. So
It's a pretty cool concept, like
Yeah.
the kid and his dead dad, and they coming back. It's pretty it taps into something
well,
fucked
Peter
up.
Jackson.
It's
Old Peter
Kino
Jackson.
concept. That's a movie you got to see as a kid. Fucking when all that shit's gonna hit you the hardest, you gotta traumatize those kids.
I did. I actually saw that movie when I was in the 4th grade, and it didn't really register quite the same until I saw it later on as a grown up. And then as an
Really?
adult, I'm like, wow, this is kind of fucked up. As a kid, I'm just like, we rented it from the library. I remember we used to
Literally.
rent extra.
I saw Troll 2, that scene where he's fucking in the back of the car and he's like, Dad, I'm gonna be sick, and they're like, we'd love to see you get sick. Slow down, Dad. Joshua's ready to be eaten, and they slow down. It shows it zooms out, and they're all trolls. That shit scared the fuck out of me. That shit scarred me for life.
What's
I was
Dude,
literally-
yeah, that movie was creepy as fuck as a kid. Not
I
gonna lie.
was literally like looking it up, like, dude, that scene was fucking terrifying. And then when I finally saw the movie, it was like, it blew my fucking mind. It
And
blew
then
my
when we
fucking-
watch it like 5 years later, 10 years later, we're like, what the fuck were we thinking?
How was I that autistic as a kid to like not realize this was just people acting? They're playing pretend. This whole
And you
like
could just tell big time.
it never looks like anything else.
I
Yeah, big
watched
time watch.
Spider-Verse too. Have you guys seen that one?
No, is that any good?
It's fucking awesome.
I
like
didn't
it.
even
It's
I didn't
definitely
even
better
finish
than
the first one.
I love it.
Which is weird because I love Spider-Man, but I
You watch it.
I
It's
didn't
really
finish
good.
it. I watched like half of it and I kind of lost
Well,
interest.
finish it.
Watch
I-
it
you know-
in
you know what it
2x
Watch
is?
the
speed.
second one.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I tried to
second, I don't like
Go ahead.
Miles Morales, man.
Man. Also we talked about the Gremlins. That I was fucking scrolling through late at night, like looking for something, and it popped up on Netflix. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like, "What?" And I
It's
tried
on
to play it, and I was-
Max. It's on Max, I believe.
It's Max, is it? I think I don't know. It was one of the two. But I also I just remembered another thing that I've been watching too is I Think You Should Leave season 3 came out. Have
Oh,
you guys
Hello.
watched
Hmm.
that?
No,
No.
huh? What's that
Oh,
about?
Good shit. Have you seen I Think You Should Leave?
No.
You've watched it, Aaron.
Yeah, it's
first
fucking
season?
wild. Yeah, it's wild.
It's funny
it's a
shit.
sketch com-
It's
it's a
It's
sketch
pretty
comedy
much
show.
shit that you would see me and Zach and fucking all of us doing. Just like
Okay.
something really dry. It's Zach for sure. Like
Yeah,
the dumb shit
it
he
really
does.
is. And the fact that it actually gives you hope because it's like
This guy.
the fact that they gave someone was like Zach's wacky humor a show is nuts. And wasn't his story like he was an SNL guy that got fired or something?
I don't know.
I think he's got some
No,
kind of
he
story.
worked for SNL. He was just a writer.
That's what he just said.
He didn't
just
get
said.
fired. I don't think he
said
got
There,
fired.
there
No.
wa- I think there was something.
He's like, no.
I think there was something.
No.
I think there was something there. I mean, like, why else would you leave SNL if you didn't get fired? I mean, it's such a.
I don't know, but he was a really good writer, and he's
They're like,
amazing.
your humor is fucking stupid and it sucks.
Dude,
Nobody will
it's
think
got-
this is funny.
fucking funny.
It's
You know
got
how
the
like people get mad, you get mad, you grunt.
yeah.
Amazing.
He would do that in the new season. He's like,
We should watch it when he come up. That's a funny ass show, and the skits are really snappy. They're real short and they're real.
so
And then
funny.
there's a skit, the baby beauty pageant,
oh my god,
like
it's
just
so
really
dumb.
fucking
It's-
bizarre skits.
Come here, guy in the crowd. Don't make me
The-
say
the-
it. Come on, you got to come up here.
I started with the first season, first episode of the second season, and I was like, fucking, where has this show been all my life?
Yeah, it's
Dude, I
just,
hounded you to watch it, and you're just like, all right.
Baby.
And then it just goes right over into space. But yeah, Todd, you got to watch it. Bro.
Is that the show where they had like
Bob.
that episode with like the sex chamber or whatever? Then they had like in the hotel room, and then they had like kids like soundproof sex chambers or whatever. They had like kids playing in the same room. Is the
This
Is
sounds
that-
like a great show.
Okay.
What?
I don't
What
know.
the
heck?
that was a sketch comedy thing that I was watching.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it was weird.
Say that again.
it could
like,
it could
like
be.
they like built a hotel where they had like a
That's
giant
what's so
bed
funny though
where
is
you
that
got
it could-
in and it's like noise proof, and there's like two people like pretending to like have sex while there's like kids outside, and they're like they're trying to sell this product to hotels.
That's
It's
what's
pretty
so
fucking
funny
crazy.
is that we don't even know if it is the show or not. It could be.
It could
and
be,
couldn't
yeah.
be.
It's not. I've never seen
There's
that.
so many
is this
different
a white
skits on there
dude
that you
or
forget.
what?
Yeah,
what's
he's a goofy looking white dude.
yeah.
It
I
could
think
be.
I think this is the show.
The very first
Is it the new
skit.
What's
the
it
very
called?
first-
What's it called?
I think you should leave.
Yeah. The very first skit of the very first episode sets up the series perfectly, where it's just him going to that job interview and him looking like an idiot trying to leave, but he's pushing instead of pulling the door.
And he's like,
And
"Oh, that's
instead-
not how you do it." And he's like, "Oh no, I did it the other
and
day."
he doesn't want to admit, like he gets in too deep with it to the point where he just breaks the fucking
He
door.
snaps the door in.
Basically,
Oh yeah,
basically-
have a good day.
Basically,
funny.
we've all done that. We've all fucking went to pull the door and it was a push door. But then, like, this guy, he's just like fucking, he's not going to admit it, that he was wrong. He's just going to keep pulling on it. And it's like, why would anybody do that?
And
But,
they're
like,
still they're
that's-
locked eyes the whole time.
that's why the show is fucking retarded. It's retarded. Like, I want to bring that back. Let's start using retarded when we mean funny. And like, fucking, that's hilarious. Like, no, dude, that fucking shit was retarded.
I love how Zach's bringing that Mac and Zach flavor to our show by demonetizing ours. We've done really well about having ours stay monetized. No, I don't care. It's fine. Hey, did you find anything for the segment? Did you find any Name That Kino? Or were you too distracted?
I did. Fucking, I was sitting here laughing about like how great my picks are.
Oh, all right. So, do you know how to share? Why don't you share your thing? You know how to share.
Wait, what are we doing here?
Name That Kino. It's where Zach is going to show us screenshots and we have to guess what it's from. Normally, we'll like do a few for each thing and we'll try and make them a little bit easier as they go. And the last one's usually a dead giveaway, so you don't really get any real props for it. But I don't care how Zach did it because we weren't prepared. They could be hard, they could be easy, whatever.
They're going to be so fucking hard. These fucking things are going to blow your fucking skull. They're so hard. The cock is on very hard with these. Dick on hard, if you know what I mean.
Why,
I'm ready.
why is
I'm
it
ready.
not showing?
You know what I'm thinking.
Hold on, I added it. Okay, there it is. Okay. That looks like Tim Curry, but it's not. But he's getting his,
Oh my
he's getting his wig split, dude. What's going on?
Are we seeing it on
Is
the big
this
screen as well?
Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the big screen. That looks
Fucking
like
it
a
is not.
total. That looks
Is
like a
it
total
Scanners?
amateur.
It's a '90s low budget. Looks like.
Scanners?
Look at that budget actress back there. She doesn't look like
Yeah.
she looks like someone's like girlfriend. She doesn't look like an actress.
You got the tube TV in the background. Yeah, this is definitely '90s.
Fucking look at the old school fucking
Lost Highway.
artistic. Well, you got
No,
the
it's not
fucking,
fucking Lava.
old architecture. The weird Baphomet in the background. Very old architecture built in the background of this.
It looks like a motel bar or something.
There's just a lady
Is this
back here. We don't even know what the fuck she's doing. This guy, look at that face.
Is
Is
this
that like
Natural Born
a-
Killers? Natural Born Killers?
It is not. There's a beer sign, so this must be at a bar.
Yeah.
There's a TV there, so fucking it's at the bar. Baphomet, why would there be that there? Fucking I am stumped. Whoever picked this is fucking Aquino, fucking mastermind.
Is that like a real actor or is that like a prosthetic face? I'm having a hard time telling.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a fake face. And
But
that's his head being blown off there. His head.
It,
His
like,
head
so,
is.
it looks like something from Total Recall.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like the
But-
effects, like his face. How like Arnold gets all the time when he's like
Yeah.
can't breathe. When their face gets swollen and shit.
I don't know. Does anybody else have any more guesses?
I don't know.
Is this?
Okay. You ready for the second?
Yeah, we need
Well,
it.
do we get what that's called first?
No, he's gonna give us another hint of the same thing.
Right.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
hint number 2. Name the Kino.
Oh my gosh,
Brain scan.
it's not very.
Oh my God! Really? This?
I know it's not brain scan.
Wait, you know what it is?
Bro-
You know what it is?
The Room?
No.
No, it's not the room. That.
This ain't VHS, is it?
It is not.
Is it? It is a horror movie, right? I don't want to be misled
Well,
by the
yeah.
guy.
Shit. A
No,
guy
it's
getting
not
his
a horror
face-
movie. It is not a horror movie.
See, I told you we were misled. Okay.
Did I mislead you? Did I say
Well,
what the
no,
genre
I'm just
was?
saying like it's easy to go down that when you see a guy like,
Yeah,
getting his
yeah.
head blown out. Is it a comedy?
It is.
Okay. This isn't Click, is it? I see a remote.
No, it's not.
Is it?
That
It
would
is.
be- I
It
don't
is
remember that
90s,
in
right?
Click.
It's 90s, right?
I feel like I cannot give you any more hints.
It's 90s, Aaron.
I feel like I just gave everything away right there.
Is it the John Ritter movie? Is it Stay Tuned?
It is not.
No.
It is not.
Not.
Gosh. Well, don't tell mom. But no, it's not that.
Is it something we've seen?
Yeah, that
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
has to be crucial. We've all seen it.
Oh yeah, we've all seen this fucking gem of a film.
How many hints do we have total? How many shots do you have?
Fucking just one more, and it's the one that gives everything away.
Okay. Mac, are you totally tuned out of this? Do you have any guesses?
I'm
He's presenting. He's
I've literally
presenting the remote.
I've literally quoted this scene
Is
so
it
many
Freak
times.
Show? Is it Freaked?
He's presenting the microphone. He's like handing it to somebody, right? He's not holding it. He's presenting.
That is not a microphone.
I mean, of a remote. You know what I mean?
Remote control, yeah.
Yeah, he's presenting it. What other movies like that are we thinking that involve a TV and a remote?
I'm
and all
gonna
that
give you
shit?
one more fucking hint, and
No,
it's basically just telling you the movie. It's basically just doing the scene he's doing. You ready?
Okay.
When you can take this remote from my hand, then you can decide what we watch on the television.
Eternally Minded says Tenacious D.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's Tenacious D, the thing it does to me.
Okay.
No, it's not. Is it?
That ain't 90s, man. So there we go.
I never said it was 90s.
I know.
Oh
Todd,
yeah, the
Todd
guy
had
getting
convinced
his head
me.
blown off.
Well, I had the tube TV. I mean, I guess it was early 2000s. So.
Todd had
No.
convinced me.
That was the scene where he's fucking, I'm sorry. I did not mean to blow your mind. Amazing.
Yeah, normally I don't look at the comments, but none of us, we were all drowning. So thanks for coming to the rescue on that, Eternally Minded. All right. So,
You were drowning in a sea of shit.
yeah. So let's do another one. What the hell is that screensaver? What is your desktop background?
You saw that?
No, the desktop
You weren't
background.
supposed to see that.
Okay.
Oh, real quick, it was Nathan for
yeah.
you. Nathan for you, the soundproof sex box for parents. That's what I was talking about from Comedy Central.
Okay. Yeah. This is a Netflix show. It's way R-rated. So it wasn't that. All right. Zach's gonna give us another one, another round of name. Or you got another one or no?
Oh, I thought I just did 3 pictures.
Oh, well, we do 3 films. That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, my bad.
That'll have to do, pig. That'll have to do. All right, so let's go ahead and we are going to start our tier list. Hey Tim87, what's up? Yo, what's good? Got the whole crew out tonight. Hope you're all having a decent week. My week has been insane, actually. Todd is coming down tomorrow,
Yep.
right? I got to
I'll be
pick him
flying
up.
out tomorrow.
Flying out tomorrow. The lady, whenever we have company come over, she makes me like do shit and like deep clean shit.
Good.
That doesn't need to be clean. Like it's clean. It's not never clean.
All the
enough.
pubes got to be off the bowl.
Never clean enough. That is my bathroom when the guests aren't here. That's mine.
Oh, I'll tear it up for you.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to disrespect the fuck out of your
I'm gonna go in
toilet.
that toy room and fuck it up. I'm gonna fuck your mic up too again.
All right. Hold on. We are
I'm gonna
gonna
fuck
go
the
ahead.
whole house up.
We're gonna go. Oh, and Todd and I are gonna go to the Mad Monster AZ convention. We're gonna go. We're gonna meet Robert England. We're gonna get
Legend.
get some signatures from the guy. Bill
Robert
canceled.
Kangland.
Alex Winter was a total cuck and he canceled. I was excited.
What a fucker. What a
I know
fucker.
it's bullshit. So we're gonna go ahead and start our tier list though. This guy's gonna be here, Kane Hodder. Actually, there's a couple Jasons there, right?
Came hotter.
Kane hotter than the guy from the
Freddie versus Jason, right?
Yeah,
Or-
Freddie versus Jason.
Came hotter.
Yeah, Kane Hodder's gonna be there. We got don't we have like Dick Warlock and like from
Yeah.
Michael Myers? Yeah, we got a lot of people there.
Dick
Mike
Warcock.
Dick Warcock.
Cuck.
All right, Warcock. All right. So Todd,
Warcane.
keep track of the comments for me because I'm not gonna be able to see them. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I gotta let you guys know.
Oh, Josh James just popped his head in.
Oh yeah, the guy that's working, he couldn't make it, so we just finally had to do it. What's up, man?
What's up?
Are you
Boy,
working?
Josh.
If you're not working, you can jump in, man.
Yeah, I've already kicked this off.
Yeah, we're gonna kick it
We're gonna
off.
set it off.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, Josh James, let us know, and Todd will send you the link or something. But we're gonna get started. It was crucial that it was more than just Todd and myself for this because it just wouldn't have been very exciting because for me, this isn't one of my favorite franchises, and I think it's pretty consistent. Like I think there's a huge chunk of it that's consistently okay and decent, right? And there's a couple of obvious like ones that are dog shit. So we had to make it more exciting. That's why I wanted Josh James on here because he's like a super fan. But let's go ahead and start with the original. Controversial, but I have never loved this movie personally. Well,
Fucking-
we're gonna
what
work
a
out an
low
average.
key-
You're crazy.
I just never loved it. I don't hate it or anything. I just never. It's not. I don't put it on this pedestal. I think it gets better, than the
I
first
don't-
one.
Fucking, I don't think this is a 9 or a 10 either. So technically, I don't love it. Fucking, I would give this a high like. I say this is 8 out of 10.
No,
Okay.
I would highly disagree. I think Pamela Voorhees is the best Jason, the scariest killer out of all of them. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about this film. It's creepier than shit, man. This is the one that scares me the most.
The idea
Um,
of a creepy old lady who is a killer and fucking
Best.
she's coming at you thinking her son who's dead is talking to her is so fucking creepy, but the way it's executed does not live up. It is not age well, I don't think.
I
don't think so.
I think that's what I agree
I
with. I mean,
disagree.
for me, I think I feel like at least right now, I have to give it like a 5 out of 10. That's
oh
me.
my god, you're crazy, dude.
I'm not. Well, you want me to be a poser and
Freaking
just
crazy.
admit? You want me to lie? It's never resonated.
When's the
Yes,
first time
we
you
do.
saw this movie?
The first time? I don't know. I used to watch all these damn movies back on the Sci-Fi Channel back when I was a kid, man. The USA Network all the damn time. It just never resonated with me. It's okay. Whatever. You want me to make you happy and give it a 6? Fuck shit. I mean, come on. If you want me to make you happy?
One thing I love about this movie, fucking,
It's okay.
The ending theme where fucking it shows her on the river. It pulls out. Fucking, it's right after she gets into the final confrontation with Mrs. Voorhees. She fucking beheads Mrs. Voorhees, gets in the car or gets in the fucking boat and just like lets it drift her off, and she just fucking passes out. Wakes up the next day, and the fucking piano theme that is playing. Ding, bing, boom, bing, bang, bang. It's fucking beautiful. Never came back in any of the series. Never.
Yeah, and I think it really depends on where you actually saw this in the trilogy. Like, I remember watching this back in the 80s. This is the first one I saw.
This is one of
So-
the last ones I saw.
This was before I knew anything about Jason. Like, I heard about Jason, around the halls in school, Jason, and then there was no Jason at the end. But I was still creeped out, man.
Well,
I
there
like,
was
oh,
Jason
that
at
was
the end.
Well, the Jason in the water. But man, it's just so iconic. This movie, I mean, I don't know. I think it still holds up to today. I think it's pretty fantastic. I would put it in an S tier for me.
I could tell where the
But
Let me establish again though. I know a 5 sounds bad, but that's a low B, right? If we're talking about the tiers, because what? So D is going to be 1 to 2, a C is going to be 3, 4, and a B is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. S is 9, 10. So I'm just saying, like I think it's fine. When I rate anything a 5, it's not bad. It's not great. I mean, it's fine. I can get through it. It's totally fine. It just feels. I was the last one I saw. So
Mag is thinking that he hasn't said anything yet. I don't think he's
well, he might be a clincher because
he is brains.
so Todd's giving
he
it
is-
an S.
He's
No, I'm
decided.
listening. I'm thinking about what I'm saying. What I'm gonna say.
Todd is giving it an S. Zach is technically giving it an A, and I'm giving it a B. So
I'm on
we're
my
kind of
hands and knees waiting for what my boy thinks of this movie.
yeah.
come on,
I
man.
always
Give
figure
it
Mac
to
probably
us.
thinks it's like a 5 out of 10.
Mac never talks about this series, so I don't think he's like a huge.
No,
I'm casual.
This is like my second favorite, like
Mask
series.
franchise.
It's my Halloween, of course, first, and then this, and then like I don't even care for Freddy that much. He always scared the fuck out of me the most, so I didn't really watch those. I didn't want to. But yeah, I would say the first one's great. Like I love the music. I think the music's fucking great. Like the suspense is great. Fucking Kevin Bacon, you got your fucking boy. fucking he's hot and sexy, and
It's
you get to
awesome.
watch him kiss.
I
Fucking
wanted to
kiss
see
him.
Kevin Bacon fucking coming. Imagine if
I
that
wanted to
fucking-
see the mom make love with him first before she killed him. You know,
Imagine if that scene where the arrow
That's
comes
some
through the heart.
shit.
What if it was fucking him jacking off and it came through his cock, and then the fucking spurting of the cum and
right?
the blood?
And,
You mean
It's
his neck?
symbolic.
Doesn't it come
and the
through his
kill
neck?
scene, isn't it like in the spear in
Yeah.
the fucking bed?
Yeah.
And then isn't there a snake too or something that comes out? Or some
They
shit?
kill a real snake in the movie. They went Cannibal Holocaust.
Hell yeah!
But there is
Crazy
something.
to see.
There is something about that kind of makes it like fucking. This movie's like fucking. There's something extra about it because they kill a snake in it. They went cannibal. They did the whole thing. They went full fucking like you. That's the thing when you're watching horror movies, you see stuff like that happen. You're like, hopefully that's not real. But it's like that
Well,
was
you don't
real.
think about it like that because you're like, oh, you think the movies are real anyway when you're
Well,
a kid.
and you have one of the best final girls too. Adrienne King's one of the best final girls ever in horror.
Adrian Kang.
But I will say though, at the end, it kind of gets a little goofy towards the end when they're on the beach. It gets a little goofy, like
The mom's
comedy
reveal or
wise.
the-
So it like kind of turns me off. But it is creepy having like an old lady do all this shit, thinking it's the fucking her son.
That takes
And
away your
then-
boner.
But I would definitely, I don't know. It's a classic, of course. I would say it's probably like A B. I'd say a low A for me.
A low A. Okay, so Todd's S mixed with Zach's high A, Mac's low A, and then my low B. I mean, it's gonna be an A then. I think we should call it a high A.
Yeah,
Like-
because I don't know. I like the second one a little better. It's about the same,
We'll
but
get
you
there.
get
We'll get there.
I
we'll
gotta-
get there.
I gotta mention Annie. Annie from the first fucking Friday the 13th movie. Favorite character in the movie.
Andy Barkley.
Favorite character in the movie. She's so fucking cute. That fucking
They always
that,
have babes.
what
in these
was it
movies.
called? The fucking flannel shirt or whatever she's wearing. She's fucking talking to the dog. Fucking what a Stacy. What
Isn't
a
she
Stacy.
like? Doesn't she come out with that on with like no pants on?
No, she
They
dies
like to
right
do
in the
that a lot
middle.
in these
Right in the-
movies.
right
They
in
like
the-
to come
the
out with
beginning of the movie.
flannels on with no like fucking pants on.
As you do.
Hell yeah.
It was the thing. Just let it be known, Mutineer gives it an A tier, and Tim says it's S tier. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm a little bit in the
It's a
minority.
classic for sure. Like I
but
can't,
I just have to be honest. It's like it's
it
not
is
my
creepy
favorite.
as fuck.
Betsy Palmer's role is fantastic as the killer, I think.
Right.
I love how terrible the lightning effect is when it goes off in Kevin Bacon's face. He's like, fucking lightning right up this place like a son of a gun.
Okay, so we're gonna put that right there at a high A. I think that averages out appropriately.
Dude, I always loved the artwork too until like fucking, they just came fucking weird. The
Became
artwork was always
gang.
nice for each
Oh,
of
yeah.
them. Like the silhouette, then like another silhouette, and then you finally get the hockey mask because like. But it's cool because they're like, when me and Zach would go in there as kids, we'd look at these and I'd be like, so what are these ones? Like we would base it off of like the pictures. That's how we would fucking, which one do we want? And it's like, well, what are these? Are these like, we want someone with a mask on.
we-
And we'd
we
see
were-
these. Hold on, we'd see these, and we're like, they don't have a mask. I don't see a mask on the back. I don't see dude. We were obsessed with masks, right? And we're like, nah, we'll get those later. So I remember watching like all the other ones before like I went to the other ones. But I also remember being like, I think I saw this, on TV somewhere. You know what I mean? When you're sitting there,
You
and
get
you're
way
like,
too nostalgic, way too early into this.
hey man, that's how it was though. I wanted to see the masks first, and there was probably what they had all of them all the way till was it even Jason like Goes to Hell? That wasn't out yet, was it? I think that
was.
It
We'll get to
wasn't.
that
I
one.
think we got to part 8 from all the ones when we started watching them.
Calm your horses.
I'm
Hoss.
fucking running wild right now, boys.
Calm your horses. Hoss.
Part 2.
Yeah, let's move on to
Part 2.
Mac, is your favorite movie Mask? Because you're so obsessed with masks. You love
I
Mask.
love
Yeah.
that
Rocky
movie.
Dennis.
I do, but the second
Rocky
one's
Dennis?
bogus as fuck.
Rocky Dennis, man. There was no scene
Oh,
in
that one too.
There's only
Rocky
one
died.
mask.
Rocky
No, I
Dennis
like-
died.
No, I like
I wanna-
Jim
wanna live
Carrey's
in the-
version better.
I want to live in the universe where Rocky Dennis had a part 2 and Jim Carrey's movie didn't. I want the fucking Rocky Dennis mask too.
I wanted him to
Rigor
at
Mortis
least have, like,
Rocky
a-
or something. Or what?
He
What if
comes back and he's getting revenge.
What if the Jim Carrey mask turned him into like a green Rocky Dennis?
Oh,
That's
God,
what I'm saying. I
know.
wish they would have thrown a reference.
It's always
reference
time for one last kiss.
Like put like a picture of the movie up somewhere in the background somewhere.
That's one of the two other movies that stars Andrew Robinson from Hellraiser. There's Chucky 3. He gives the doll a haircut in the military, and he plays Rocky Dennis's doctor. I'm like, yeah, it's all I think about. Let's
Hell
move
yeah.
on to part 2 now. So I like part 2 better. This film established the flashbacks, the let's catch you up. It's last time on Friday the 13th, and this movie is funny to me because I don't remember how long it is, but I think the total running time is already like in itself like 85 minutes. And then when you factor in, they replay the entire last part of the first movie. Like they just
Yeah.
replay it again, the whole ending.
87 minutes.
It's 87
That was
minutes.
like a huge thing back in the day too. That was like
well,
a big
yeah, if you
thing
wanted to
for
pad your
sequels.
runtime, it was.
Dude, no,
Yeah, for
dude.
sequels.
Back in the day, we thought that was so fucking cool. We
enjoyed it.
We
Well,
liked to think of it like fucking like when the Rocky movies did that, we thought it was fucking cool. When this movie did it, we thought it was fucking cool. We loved that shit. We didn't
I
think
still
about it
like
like
it.
they were padding that shit out.
I still
And
we're
like
like-
it is cool, but this one especially though, I like this movie. I'm
it's
not
kind
sure.
of like a show where they do it's like a prequel.
yeah.
like a
Last time on
preview.
Friday the 13th. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying
It's almost like they're doing the fucking the Halloween thing, like 1 and 2. They want you to they want to make you get like the fucking high at the end of that movie, and it's like it just keeps going now. There's no stop,
Right.
baby. But then they always fast forward anyway, so it's like, what was the point?
Halloween 2 gets
Yeah,
to
20
the
years
fucking.
later.
I know Halloween 2 gets to the point a little fucking faster. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But
yeah. I love the beginning of Halloween 2. It's perfect.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, the movie's 87 minutes, and then I think I timed it one time when you literally cut out the replay of the first movie and the credits, and like isn't there like padded credits at the beginning with no movie playing too? Right? It
All
does
of
that
them,
thing.
They all have that same format where the fucking opening credits are in front of a black screen,
And it's
like
padding the time.
It's
and
like
when you-
fucking getting you ready for the next event, like fucking boom, boom, boom.
I'm just saying, once you cut all that out, the movie's like fucking 50 minutes. It's ridiculous.
I think this movie is actually the shortest in the series, and I think when you cut out all that shit, because I remember I did the fan edit of the Joe Bob things, and just for fun, I wanted to see how long the movie is without like all that padding, and it was literally like an hour and 15 minutes.
it's nothing. Oh, really? Is it that long?
Fucking,
I felt like,
something that.
I feel like it's got even less than that. But it's like Rocky 4 too. Rocky 4 is nothing but an MTV music video. It's in the Top Gun era. And then if you literally take out the 4 montages where it's just music videos for the sound, it's advertising the soundtrack just like Top Gun. No easy way out. It's just him fucking driving his car, and you got these intense stares while he's driving while they're playing No Easy Way Out. When you remove all that, that script was probably 20 pages long. There's nothing to that movie. It's the same.
I'm thinking right now, and I want to mention real quick, like fucking, I'm conflicted on the rating for this movie because I gave it a 7 out of 10. But technically, there are parts of me that are just like, I think this is better. I think it's better paced than the first movie. I think the characters are better than the first movie.
well, better kills. Yeah, that's
But I for some reason, I think story wise and just like kind of execution wise, it's a little less. Because like fucking, it's weird. It's hard to like just put it into fucking words, but it's just like fucking. There's a bunch of characters introduced in this movie that just fucking disappear because they go to that diner and then you never see them again.
that's what's so cool about it. It's a totally different, and that's what makes it
I
so
never-
good. I think.
Yeah, there's something about it that's different, but it always felt to me. It always felt like they were ripping you off, like they made you think we were gonna get more deaths than we ever did, something like that.
All right, we got Josh James in here.
Oh, here we go, Josh.
Yeah, he's
Joshua
got to move that
Jameson.
camera. So hold on, let me pull that back up.
Josh
No.
is very, very angry, Aaron.
Why
What's
are
up,
you so
guys? Can you
angry?
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yo.
can hear you.
Yo.
What do you think of the first one, Josh?
Your name is so long it's cutting off your face. I mean, as long as you're cool with that, can't see it. No, yeah. How did you rank the first one? Get caught up a little bit because we're on part 2 now. I don't think he can hear us.
No.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm just
Yo.
hang on.
Oh,
keep
yeah.
keep
he's-
talking for give me
you're
5
good.
minutes.
Yep.
Let's try
All right.
shit
No,
out.
you're good. Yeah, something about the second one though, man. I actually think the second one overall is the best in the series. It's the
You
most
think so?
fun, best kills, best pacing.
I
Everything
love
about it.
I love Potato Sack Jason. I
Potato
think he's
Sack
great.
Jason.
Hell
yeah.
yeah, that's the.
I
Always
like the
fucking
dead.
cool.
I like the dead mom shrine. The whole ending. It's
Everything
killing
that's better.
killing the
creepier.
crippled guy, throwing him down the stairs. I mean,
hell
the
yeah.
kills are so
Basically-
cool, dude.
Basically, all the like set pieces and all the fucking things that happen in the movie are better, but like the story is just like fucking lesser than the first one. I think that's
You
the
say
only.
What do you need a
Lester?
story?
It's
There's no more
fucking
story
Lester?
after the
Is that what you
first
said?
one.
It's fucking Lester.
I know, and I'm gonna have to basically admit that about all the movies
No
going
other
forward.
story. Yeah, exactly.
You really can't rate it like a normal.
Yeah.
And you have Amy
Kino
Steele, which
type
I think
ratings.
Amy Steele is probably the best final girl in the whole series. But that's just my opinion. I love Amy Steele.
Jenny.
I don't know. They
she's-
all work. They all work for each other for each story.
No, I don't think so. Some of the final girls suck, dude. We'll get into
You're a
that.
final girl.
I can't
hope
think of
they
any of
do.
the final
I
girls
hope
in
they
the
do.
series that I don't like. Actually, there are final girls I don't like in movies, but I can't think of any in this series coming to mind.
You know, I really loved. Well, we'll talk about it.
Where would
Yeah.
we put fucking part 2 though, baby?
For me,
This is an S tier.
no. So like I said, I'm not obsessed with the
I don't know.
franchise, but
I
for
still
me, this
think
is a
it's an A.
7. I think it's a
It's an
7
A.
out of 10. So that's
I
a
would
that's
give
an
it-
A. low A.
I still think I still love the first one and I love this one. It's kind of like a tie, but fuck, I think this is a higher A though.
Okay, so I think we're all settled on an A because me and Zach are like low A.
That's an
Yeah.
A.
So
In
you're
a
an
way
8,
they-
Mac.
Oh, yeah,
in a way,
definitely.
they are kind of like their own little sub series. Like they're the most alike.
One and
Because
two,
you
one and
don't-
two are back to back great. I mean, they're fantastic. They're both S tiers back to back. I mean,
Because you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Because you don't get to know until the end. So it's kind of like the
We-
mom. It's kind of like a mom, but you're like, who the fuck is this? Is it his dad? Who the fuck is this
Basically-
guy? Is he? It's me, your father. I've come back. I heard you were Jason. We can get some money off your mask.
Is Josh on yet? Can you hear us?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It-
I'm here. I
it
just
has-
bring it back.
Part 2 has the best looking female in the whole series too, with Terry though, Kristen Baker with the short
Hey,
Kevin Bacon.
shorts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have to
shorts
step
and
aside for like 30 seconds. Josh, why don't you tell us what you think about the first one and then the second one real quick, and then I'll be right back.
I'm pretty high on the first one right now, especially since I was just at Crystal Lake. I've been like
Hell yeah.
editing together a video. I was working on it tonight. It's almost done, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Didn't you talk about like going there and like talking to someone who owned it? Didn't you like post something to someone and then you went there?
You might
guys-
be thinking of Sleepaway Camp, but
Was that it?
my
It's the
I
buddy
same
remember
Nick,
you
movie.
talking about something.
It's the
my
same movie,
buddy
man.
Nick came up from Georgia, and we went together. We did like the reunion thing,
Yeah.
and it
Didn't
was
you talk
cool.
to
It was-
someone?
Yeah, I mean, they had, well, let's see, Adrian King was there, Amy Steele was there, a whole bunch of the people from the first and second movie, basically. It was
Oh,
cool,
no.
man.
Didn't you talk to like the guy who helped with like Hike Alone or what was it?
Never hike alone.
Yeah.
I'm not recalling what you're talking about, but
I don't know. I'm
Maybe you
thinking
got
of
me
someone
confused,
told someone
Mac
said
is
something
fucked
about
up.
No, I thought it was him the last time he was on. We were talking about I can't remember. Someone was talking about how they went to one of the camps. I can't remember if it was that one or another one, but then they talked to someone and they're like, "Yeah," and then they like, "You should talk to this person," and they went there and talked to him and like that's how they got like I don't know. It
well,
might
if
not have been
if
you,
you
my
remember
bad.
specifics about it, like jog my memory. It might not have been me, but you never
Just tell us
know.
about what you were doing today, baby. What'd you say you were doing? You came off the high of this movie because you.
So this one, no. Yeah, so I did that. That tour was on June 2nd, so it was a while ago.
Mhm.
But so starting out with Friday the 13th, I started out with 5, so that was like my intro into the series back in
Mhm.
grade school. So I know we didn't really give a flying fuck about the original hardly at all because Jason's not it. You know, the cliche.
Exactly.
You know, we were really into like the mainstream, you know, like Jason was already an icon by then, so we kind of ignored it. Now, as I've gotten older, especially probably in the last, I would say 4 or 5 years since I've been going hard with my fandom, it's gone way up my
That's
my
how
tier
I was
list.
as a kid too. Fucking. This was
Are you guys
basically
rating
like,
about 10, right?
yeah. This was basically the Halloween 3 for this series when I was a kid for a long time.
I mean, I
Until
just
the-
thought it was like basic bitch and boring, you know. Like, I didn't have any. I
Yeah.
didn't appreciate any of the nuance. I didn't know anything about it, and I just like its mom. His mom was a killer, you know. Like it was just kind of like when I started getting into horror in the '80s, it was like at peak. So it was like, you know, the kills were really gory and the characters were all
Yeah.
fleshed out, you know. But now I'd say if I was gonna rank it, I'm gonna go. So out of 10, I would give it I'd say an 8 out of 10, and I would say it's probably. Are you guys saying like out of all of them, like what you're like? Is it just like
how
your-
just how we
just what
individual?
you
We're not
rank this
ranking the
one.
series
Okay.
in order. Yeah, just how we
Yeah.
like
It's
them.
high. I'd say in my top. I would say it's in my top 4, probably in my top 4.
So it sounds like it's where it needs to be. We don't have to adjust it because Zach
Not an A.
Zach and Mac were low and high A's. Todd was an S, and I was a low B. So yeah, it's averaged, right? You're an A. What about the second one? Let's wrap
What
that
is
one up.
S again? What's
I would say S is like
9
9
or
and
10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but what's the
I'd-
S stand for?
I've never
S
known what S
rank.
stands for.
Like
S
Shibby.
is ultra.
Supreme.
Stands
S,
for
yeah, S rank
shibby.
ultra.
So and then right after the
Part 2.
yeah, I mean I like part 2 better. I think it's a more fun movie. There's more going
It
on
is.
there, but
It
I,
is, but
I
the story's better.
Yeah, the potato
in the
sack
first
is
movie.
definitely better.
I would.
I mean,
yeah,
I
I
like
don't
the
know.
simplicity. Of
It's a
like-
high A. I think it's a high A.
I think
I
it's an
thi-
S.
I think
Guys,
it's
I'm-
a 7 out of 10. So
I'm-
I think it belongs right here personally.
I'm sitting
You're
here
crazy.
acknowledging. I'm
It's
sitting here
better than the
acknowledging.
first one. It's better than the first one.
It's so
I
hard.
think
in my mind.
I think it's better than the first one too.
It
but
is
this
better,
is how
but it's a higher A.
this is how you guys averaged it. I think the first one's down here.
I think that the second one needs to go in front of the
Guys,
the first one.
it's so hard to. There's
Yeah, right there.
cognitive. Listen to me. There's cognitive dissonance in my brain because it's like fucking. I think this movie is not as good as the first one because I gave it a 7 out of 10. But sitting here right now, I'm thinking it's way funner than the first one. The characters are better than the first one. Fucking the story isn't as good, but fucking do I give a shit about the story? No. I
No,
just
you
want to
just
have
want the
fun
kills.
now. So fucking. It probably is like fucking close to an
They're
8
kind of a
now in my
tie,
mind.
honestly.
It's like
Kinda,
an
yeah.
8.7 for me.
People in the chat, what do you throw a score out? Mutineer.
I mean, they're not going to be able to
Tim.
budget. It's
Junior
a
says
high. It's
S.
an A.
It's even paced better because the first one, the bad thing about the first one is that it is paced kind of oddly. It kind of like in the second half.
Well,
like,
you have that long stretch with like Adrian
A lot-
King.
yeah, like
It's like
building
in the-
up the suspense.
They're just like burning film, like trying to make a runtime. Kind of, you can kind of sense
Yeah,
that a little
we
bit.
covered that. This movie's like the
Mutineer
king of
says
that.
S. Tim says S. Or Eternal says B.
I'm gonna update my
I'm gonna say
fucking
it's the
ranking.
high
on my-
A's.
Can I just say though,
I'll say
like
it's an
the
A plus.
first, the original, and
I'm
the
with you,
second
Tim.
one
Absolutely.
definitely have this like standalone thing about them because they're just sort of these pure little slashers. They haven't really been like the
Mhm.
series hadn't. They're just pure little movies. They're simple and they're not convoluted. When
Yeah.
you get it, and then you get into 3, and it just fucking the wheels come off. Like, you know, you're in 3D. You got hockey masks. It's like the kills are
If you
insane.
didn't know any better and you saw part 2, you could easily pass it off as, oh, this is a Friday the 13th ripoff movie, right? It feels like
Yeah.
its own thing.
You could, yeah.
I don't know, yeah,
Like
it
the
might-
burning is kind of like in that,
Yeah.
you know, in there, and Sleepaway Camp's kind of in there, and
It was a trend that
related,
was written until the wheels fell off, and it was fun while it lasted. Well, it fucking had its hits and its misses. Fucking overall, there's probably more misses than hits. But fucking it worked while it worked. It is like the Saw thing. Fucking they did that. It happens
I-
every once in a while.
I think relatively up until we get to a certain movie that I'll hold off on. It's a consistent franchise for a while, so I don't think my scores are going to change too much from here because I like part 3. I mean, I think, and if they are going to change, it's marginally. I'm talking like 6.5 if it's not a 7, but that's kind of usually where I stand. I don't think there's a single movie in this series that I think is higher than a 7 personally, but I
Really?
like 3. I don't mind the gimmick. It's like we're going back to that era. I think it just reminds me of the 80s and that bullshit. I don't know. I like it though.
I like 3 a lot. Are we talking about 3 now? Let's do it, baby.
We're talking about 3. Yeah. I think the characters are
okay.
really fun in 3.
This
I
is
like
when-
how it's like what happened to Jason? How would he put on all this weight since the last movie?
the
Ate more
continuity.
potatoes.
They
You almost have
literally
to.
the
The
fact
thing
that
about
they
3.
go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say the thing about part 3 or 3D is you almost have to rank it twice because you have
Mhm.
to think of like the analog version and then watching it in actual 3D. Have you guys all seen it in 3D, like the real 3D?
It looks horrible.
I've never
I
watched the
haven't.
I
actual
think
3D.
I've seen them both.
Like when
Our
I saw,
boy-
like I have like a 3D projector, like gaming projector, and when I got what was the box set that came out?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Shout Factory box set that came out. I got the
Mhm.
3D disc. I watched it in 3D, and I was like, I was way more impressed with the movie seeing it in 3D, the way it was meant to be seen, right?
Mhm.
See, I wasn't. It's so blurry. Like I don't have like 3D glasses to watch it, but it just takes away from it for me at least. Like the whole 3D
Oh.
gimmick. I'm not into that.
I thought it was really
I-
cool. I've always wanted to see that
It-
movie in the theater with the 3D, the way it was meant to be
Basically-
seen. You know?
Yeah, basically, I think fucking the reason we think it would probably be so much better in 3D is just because it's a movie we never saw in 3D, and like since we were kids, we wanted to see like the fucking 3D because like back then 3D was not common at all in the 90s, so like fucking the idea of 3D just wowed us so much, and it was like fucking you guys got that, and like we don't now. Fucking, I wish I could fucking experience that fucking. And then it did, like once we got it, it just like we saw like, oh yeah, it's cool, and it's a gimmick. It's just like we get it and then we move on.
Well, the
But-
thing is like there's a lot of like those little 3D gimmicks in the movie that we always laugh at. That are these little moments that take you out of the movie because they're not in 3D. Like the baseball bat and the snake and whatever. You know, like there's the corny.
Mhm.
But when you watch it in 3D, I felt like it wasn't jarring and take you out of the movie. You're like, what the fuck is going on? That's like stupid, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought it added something, even though it was kind of like the 3D stuff in it was really kind of, I don't know, inconsequential to the story or whatever. But I personally love 3. That fucking
I have
Manfred
fun with 3.
Ice song at the beginning is like one of my all-time favorite horror movie fucking rock hits, and like
Fucking that shit funky. That shit funky.
hell yeah. I mean, what the hell? Like, they went all disco and shit. It was fucking a bold move. Gave the movie a lot of personality. I don't know. It's a bad movie though. It's just a shitty.
Oh, and I understand. And, you know, some people like. I was never a fan of Part 3. Like I just being filmed in 3D. I wasn't a huge fan of Chris or Debbie. Like the character wise, I wasn't a big fan of them. So this wouldn't be top tier for me. But
I mean,
it's cool.
I always like this movie. I was like fucking Shelly. I was always like fucking Shelly. What a fucking king. I thought Shelly was fucking cool as a kid. I was like, I want to be like Shelly when I grow up. That's fucking
Hilarious.
embarrassing to admit out loud.
You
That's
achieved it.
embarrassing to admit. Yeah, fucking. I saw it. I was like, fucking hell yeah, what a king. I like it though. Fucking,
The only thing
I
about
like.
3 is we lose the lake though. Like they tried to like flood
Mhm.
that little ranch that they filmed at to give it a little
Mhm.
water, but
They
they need
they
the lake.
realized.
That's essential. I feel like.
I think that was like a thing, like, oh yeah, we see the potential. We can make this every year, but we gotta fucking change the scenery. We probably can't stay at the lake too long. Fucking so fucking now it's not there. That was like their big thing. Like we're gonna give them a mask now, and this is a movie where they give us the mask. It's the first time. I would say this movie. I have enough fun with this movie, and I realize it's not a good movie. And, like I think the acting's probably the worst in this movie. Like the one girl, Chris, fucking, she became like a weather person, fucking in some local Utah town or something. And she does. She seems like an actress that like she just was doing the weather. Like she was not an actress. They just got her because like, oh, she looks good on camera or something like that. Like I think she's the worst in the movie if I remember right.
Was Chuck
I would-
the curly haired kid guy? Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, the Chong ripoff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I-
stupid. I mean, they knew what they were making. It was like, it's weird because it's such a like cheap, shitty movie, but they spent a ton of money on the 3D. like to help sell it, I guess, or something. But
It was just the trend. It was just a gimmick at the time. I mean,
As a kid, I thought this was the movie with Cheech and Chong in it because the guy at the beginning I thought was Cheech, and then the fucking Chong looked like in the gang. I thought they were both in this movie. It was both the movies were Paramount, so it made sense at the time.
that would almost be like some Scooby Doo crossover shit. It would almost make sense to throw Cheech and Chong in a Jason movie. Hey, Mutineer makes a good point. He says, "How did he grow up and come back to get revenge when he's dead? Who cares how fucking fat he got? You got to let that shit go."
I mean,
I'm
we
not
got our
really that
boy
serious
too,
about it.
though.
He didn't really get fat from part 2 to this one. He got like basically he didn't have hair at all anymore. Like fucking, he came out in part 2 with like the fucking long hair
He
covered.
looks
in-
like
Oh,
a
yeah.
potato, though. He looks like a potato in the third one. It's a totally different body shape.
like if you pause it and look
Richard
at it,
Brooker.
they kind of did like fucking. If you pause it and look at it, they kind of did. There was some consistency with the ending of the way he looks in part 2, and then like the way the head is shaped in fucking in part 4 when his mask comes off. Fucking, there was some continuity.
I like the Richard Brooker look. I think it's kind of he's kind of gangly and
It's creepy,
Mhm.
you know.
like warped.
Looks like a
It's-
dude you would just see working at the auto zone in like the fucking mechanic section. Fucking come
Igor.
out
Looks
covered
like
in
an
grease.
Igor.
Score.
It's definitely the one they feel like they based the Splatterhouse games on, right?
Yeah.
The protagonist in that, it's that one. Todd always here to move us along. We've got somewhere to be. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm happy giving this one a 6, like a 6.5. You know, so I would put it like a high B
I would too.
personally.
That's me.
And that's good. I mean, for this series, like I said, I don't think any of them are an 8. So this is good for me. But what do you give it, Zach?
on my letterbox, I gave this movie an 8. At this point, I'm thinking like, yeah, it probably is more of a 7. It probably is more 7.
Okay. So it looks like most of us are kind of.
I'd even
around-
give it a C.
Oh shit! You realize a
I'm
C
going
is
with
like
B. I think B is fair.
you think a B is a fair? Yeah,
Yeah.
Mac a C is a 3 or 4 out of 10. That's pretty low. We'll get there, man. We'll get there, baby.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
getting there later.
We might
Uh,
hit D before the end of the night.
So I think we're here. I think we're at a high B.
Well, it's
All right,
funny
so-
because I just feel like this is like the worst out of all of them, actually.
Really?
Well, we're gonna
Yeah,
get to
I
what
don't know.
I think most people think 4 is the best. So let's do final chapter. I would say this is kind of like the quote unquote classic one.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, it's got great characters. It's got
Corey
you
Feldman.
got George McFly in there. You got Corey Feldman in there.
It
you know,
does. George McFly's in this movie. That is enough to give it at least an 8. I
he's
think.
got sweet dance moves. I
Because
think
he literally just kind of seems like he's playing George McFly in a way, a more horny version of him or something.
Well,
More
I
cool.
think-
You gotta go to. I think you have to go with an A on that one. It's just because of the production value. The script was probably the best. The gore is inventive. It was the characters were super memorable. It's fun.
this
It's a
is
crowd pleaser.
when I think of Jason, like I used to watch all these movies on syndication on Sci-Fi Channel growing up in the 90s. But as a kid, they all kind of blurred together. I don't know if I really could have told you which ones were from which necessarily, but whenever I thought about Jason or I had nightmares, I always thought about this one. I
Part
thought
4
about-
Jason's the best. in
Yeah,
my
I always
opinion.
thought about part 4 Jason. He's who I envisioned. And
I always thought of the one with the kids.
this is
Jason
there's a
Lives.
kid. Well, this is
Hmm.
there's
Camp.
I would watch this one when I was like really young. So I remember seeing this movie. I must have watched this on like a Saturday night creature feature type thing. This is one of those flicks I would watch when I was like 3 and 4 years old. And so it was ingrained in my head to the point where when I got a little bit older, I remembered certain scenes of this movie before I cognizantly like watched the movie. Like, oh, this is this one. And I always thought about like the scene where you don't see him with the mask on, like in the bar, that window, the barn window. You see his fucked up looking face, and obviously the hand and all that stuff. I mean, this is the quintessential Jason movie, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Fucking.
Yeah,
This is
and
the way it starts out, fucking the ending of the third one. This is my favorite. Like this is the closest I think they ever got to the ending of the branching from fucking Halloween to Halloween 2. This is the closest they ever got because they were always trying to rip it off. This is the fucking best
Yeah,
it's
this
ever
is
felt.
it. This is the one.
Fucking, it just seems
And-
like we're just catching up moments after that last shot of the third one.
fucking
and-
love that poster too. That
Yeah,
poster.
outside of the
Yeah.
first one, it's it's the iconic as the first one.
It's simple. I love the simplicity of it.
The
Yeah.
way
Dagger
Jason
in
looks
the
in this
blood.
movie,
And,
Fucking, it's my favorite look for Jason. Fucking Ted White, who died recently. Fucking, does that
Yeah,
mean
it
all the
sucks.
Jasons of the classics are passed away now, or fucking?
Dash is
They might be.
gone. Brooker's gone.
He might have been the last one.
White is gone. CJ Graham's still
Ari's still alive.
kicking.
from the
Yeah,
first
one.
Ari
Oh, yeah.
first Jason.
What, I don't think
yeah,
about him
Tom
when I think of
Morris.
Jason, but he kind of he did play the original Jason.
Dick Wyan and I think Tom Morga is still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
And
mean,
of course, Kane.
for me, like unlike the third
Kane.
movie, unlike
Kane
the third
Potter.
movie, like you guys were saying about the third movie, I think this
Kate
movie has.
Coomer.
I think this movie has great performances. Personally,
Oh yeah.
I think the actors are great, even when it's cheesy. Like obviously, like the George McFly dancing shit is '80s and it's goofy, but Corey Feldman's great in it. Everybody's great in this movie. And I think this is the one. So for me, it's a 7. I mean, that's as high as it's
Some-
going to get for me personally. A high
The
7.
most memorable
Dang.
kills. Some of the most memorable kills. Fucking the chick with the banana. I always think of that when I think of fucking
When she
this movie,
squeezes it?
or when I think of like kills from the classic Friday the 13th movies. I think of her as like it seems the most exploitational almost. Fucking something about it seems like that's a Charles Bronson type of kill from a Death Wish movie or something.
What if
Fucking,
Charles Bronson was one of the Jasons? They missed opportunity there.
That'd be
That'd
awesome.
have been awesome. That'd have
He
been
pulls
fucking
out a gun.
Yeah, a 4-foot Jason,
Silenced.
little
He-
mustache bristles poking through the holes of the mask.
He would not be the real Jason, but he would be Jason adjacent. Fucking
They
basically
put a
just like,
mustache on his mask.
Can you imagine his hair though? His hair just sticking out of that mask.
he's too cool to be a mongoloid idiot. He's
That-
Jason adjacent.
We're jumping ahead, but that should have been the twist in part 5. Charles Bronson.
That should have been the first movie.
No, Charles
Oh, yeah.
Bronson seeking revenge. Oh, just taking out the trash like he does. So for me, I think this is it ever so slightly. I would say I'll put it over 2, and that's even you catch me
I
on a
wouldn't
different.
put it over 2.
You catch me on a
Or-
different day, and I might say 2 is my favorite. But you know what? I'm gonna for the icon status. I'll give it to higher. So I'm gonna call it a 7. So I don't know where where you guys wanna
Joseph
put it.
Zito, who directed this movie, he also directed The Prowler, and fucking I love how kind of mean the kills are in this movie. Fucking, it
Well,
seems very
yeah.
much like just very mean spirited the way Jason's killing people in this movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
Savini's return on this one too.
Yeah, fucking
Okay.
I kind of love this movie. I would give it a 9.
You give it a 9. Wow. So
Yeah.
that's S. So Todd,
It's
what
one-
do you give it?
It's one of those things where it's like all the loving memories
S
you
is a
have
10.
of the series all combined. It packs its way into the ones that you remember the most. And fucking
And
this
it
is one
almost makes you wish they stopped there, right? The final chapter, and they actually may go to another word. This is like what Freddy's Dead wished it was, right? It's like
Yeah.
they were ending on a high note, and then we eventually got our Freddy's Dead later, which we'll get to. But because I don't know. So he's an S. What are you, Todd? I would say I'm an A.
Okay, so this is my third favorite Friday 13th movie. I would put this behind the first and second one, so I would give it an A tier behind that. Those two movies.
Okay.
Well,
Which is funny because I'm
just
there
rating
too.
it as just rating it as a movie. You'd give it like an 8 out of 10 rather than like a 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking yeah. I want to say the last time I watched it, I want to say before the last time I watched it, I was like, this is a 10 out of 10. I love it. Fucking, but then I watched it and I was like, it's flawed, but fucking, I still love it. And fucking, there's a part of me that thinks if I watched it again, it could be an 8 out of 10. They could just all be 8 out of 10s.
Can I be lying to myself?
I think what it all comes down to is if like I was talking to a kid that didn't know anything about horror, but he liked horror and he wanted to get into it. You can only give him one Jason movie to sort of, be well-rounded on what it is. You give him part 4. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one you give him. Like,
Yeah,
hey, this
yeah.
is like the greatest hits. It's the most polished.
The Black
them-
Album.
Does that
It's
mean
the-
it's,
it's
the top
them
tier?
peaking.
Does that mean it's S?
For me, it's about as top as it gets. I don't think any movie in the series is an S for me.
Would you let me
personally.
top you?
I think if you're gonna give somebody one to watch for the first time to get into it, it's a tie between 4 or 6. Fucking, I think 6 is fun in a different way.
We'll get to that, but
Mac, what do you think it is? So right now we're
I
at
think
a
it's between.
9,
I
8,
honestly
7.
think it's between 2 and 1.
Okay, so you're an A.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah,
it's right
okay.
between them.
Okay.
Right in between.
So we got one S and three A's. It's looking like unless Josh hates this movie, I think we're going to be in the A territory.
I'm putting 4 S tier 9 or
Oh,
it's
let's
a
go.
9 out of 10.
So that would average
Okay.
out. That would average it out to being right here in the A. in
That's
front of it.
fine.
And
There
I'm
it
happy
is.
with that because I think that's
Cha-ching.
an applicable order for me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna get into part 5. This one's very divisive.
S tier.
I love this movie.
Fucking,
I-
this is my movie. When you guys are talking about 4 for the movie show, no, you go to 5. You say
I
fucking
like
watch this.
5. I love the Roy mask too. I just love the mask. I love the way it
It's
looks.
blue. Fucking in his jumpsuit, dude. Fucking Myers style. Fuck it.
I think
I
it's
love
cool.
this movie
It's
more because
bad.
You like that
Badass,
fudge
it
sickle,
works.
man? You like that fat idiot with that fudge sickle?
It's fun. It's fun. The comedy's great. The actors are great. Fucking the kids are perfect. Fucking
movie
dude, it's
is-
wild. It's fucking. This is it.
this movie's so fucking
80s
fun.
for sure.
I-
It's what you know.
I love
This
it
is
because
my 10 out of 10. It's
Dude,
my
10
top.
out of 10. It's an
Yeah, 10
S
out of
ranked
10.
movie for
Is
sure.
it really, Josh?
Yeah.
It really is because it's the one that brought me into horror,
Hell
and
yes.
it just tickles all the right
Dude,
Places.
the
things that I love
backgrounds,
about
the
horror
scenes.
movies. It's sleazy. It's got great
dir-
kills. It's got a lot of kills. I love. It's just it's like weird. It's different than all the
It
other
makes
ones.
sense though. It makes sense because you got our boy who grew up and he's like fucking losing his mind thinking Jason's real, and someone comes and fucks with him. And it's like, because Jason's really dead, but he still sees some fucking Jason shit.
they're getting
too
into
on-
soap
You're
opera
getting two
territory.
different things. Yeah, you're getting you're getting a fucking actual Jason, and then you're getting fucking
Basically, they wanted to keep the series going, and they knew like fucking they just killed him off. That movie made so much money though. We can't just fucking bring him back from the dead. They didn't want to go that
But-
full into it yet.
But
yeah,
that's cool though. Like,
yeah.
So they were
it-
just like, let's just bring a different guy. That was the reasoning behind it. Fucking,
if you can,
Yeah.
if you had to renege on that and
Decoy
you know
Roy.
sell out or whatever, this is the way to do it. They could have stopped at this one and it would have been funny because it's like, oh, because you know what I mean? Like it still works because like, oh, we didn't cheapen the last one because Jason's dead and when he's not Jason, the twist, it would have been great.
In
I
a
think
way,
it
it
gets
kinda-
cheap with the next one, but I wouldn't.
it kind of it kind of feels a lot like Rocky 5 for me. This movie.
The
Oh,
cheap
it's
the
where you
special
could just
effects
remove
are,
it. It is. You could remove part 5 from the whole series,
Yeah.
and you're
This-
not going to miss a beat from 4 to 6. Yeah, exactly.
This movie's way better than Rocky 5 though.
By the
actors
way,
are great.
R.I.P. Ethel, man. I was
Oh yeah, she
sad.
just
Oh
died.
yeah.
I thought I was
Okay.
gonna get, hopefully get to meet her one day, but unfortunately she passed away recently. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
You big dildo. She's got the best lines in the whole movie, man.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Will
This-
you shut up?
One of
Dude,
the best.
It's definitely a
any
fun
of those
movie, but
scenes were great. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
the quality of it's a fun movie. The quality of the film isn't there for me. Like
I
the
don't know,
special
I like-
effects, the special effects are solid for
Awesome.
the time.
What sucks
but the
about this movie?
characters
Fun.
stink.
They-
compared
they
to the
really-
fourth one.
They really
For
got
me, at
skimped
least.
out on the special effects because at this point, fucking like a lot of the kills are just stomach stabs when they had like better things
Right.
planned.
They
But then
cut
the
right when
fucking-
they hit the.
They knew they had to cut it because of fucking either the MPAA or like what was the fucking the chick that was dancing? Her original kill was like where he like cut her up the vag or whatever. Like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. They went
I don't know if
raunchy and then they cut it down.
Wasn't one where they put the belt around the guy's eye and they like
Yeah, and tightened it.
they tightened it?
Mhm.
That was pretty cool.
That-
I mean,
yeah,
they have some creative
that
stuff.
bugged the shit out of me when I was a kid. That
Yeah.
kill, like, it really.
Yeah, I never wanted to be
disturbed me.
behind a tree. I'd always look back and shit. Like,
Or the fat dude with the chocolate bar that gets his arm cut off.
oh yeah, he's screaming at that guy, dude. That's fucking maniac shit, dude. That terrified me.
it's so funny that that's one of the most like memorable scenes from like the series in a way. It's just some guy yelling at some other guy, and we only remember it because the dad is the killer. And like fucking, that's the whole plot of part 5. Basically, even if you love or hate this movie, that's kind of what the whole thing, the link it is in the chain of the series.
See,
Basically.
this
Imagine
movie,
if you took.
this movie
that
never
part
gets
out.
boring, man. It
Mhm.
never
It doesn't.
look up like you bring up Friday the 13th Part 5 A New Beginning. People light up. It's like there's so much to talk about. It's so memorable. It's
So much
fun.
shit.
You know what I mean?
It,
Which is
yeah, it definitely is. It definitely has its fun.
that's why I
it's a
prioritize
perfect
this
movie.
This movie is my favorite because it's the most fun for me. It's rewatchable. I can watch it anytime.
Guys,
Yeah.
are we gonna in 10 years? Are we gonna say Halloween Ends is a perfect movie?
No.
Oh,
Aaron
God.
will.
I
Aaron
still
will.
haven't
Sorry,
completely digested that movie
No.
yet.
I want to
Oh,
watch
that-
it again.
that's
It's
a
probably a
different
little.
I'm gonna watch
It's
it
probably a
again.
little too long to be like a 10 out. Like this movie's a 10 to me because I give this movie a
It's
10
a
too.
This is
You
a
give this
perfect-
movie a 10?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
This
I don't-
gives this
Yeah.
gets my high marks. Like I think it's a high, but like I said, I don't feel like I should give anything more than a 7 in the series. I'd be a poser. But I because I don't think I don't know. Whatever. This is as good as it gets for me. But I love this one too. And
In a way, this series was kind of like a Rocky for like people that liked horror at the time. Like you got into it, you were like fucking, oh, I'm excited.
yeah, personally, I would put it just a hair behind part 4, just because 4 is iconic. I weigh
Put it
it
that high?
differently.
You're crazy, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're
Oh.
putting it higher.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
it's
They're
S.
putting it like I think it's
Three
one of
of
the
us
best in the
S.
series.
It's
Yeah, it's
automatic.
Well, I mean, if we're ranking this based off purely personal enjoyment, like which ones we like the most, and not like technical aspects, and if we're not going to get all highbrow about it, but it's personal, like I'm going to say this is my favorite one for sure.
If you all you gotta do is to understand what it all is. It's like the director Danny Stuyvesant is what fucking it pretty much is. Like it's got his like sleaziness written all over it. Just watch like fucking Savage Streets, and it's just like
yeah.
this
I mean,
movie.
so it's an A for me. So it's an S for all three of you
Three
guys.
of
And
us.
so
That's an automatic S.
so
man.
yeah, well yeah, it probably is. What is Todd gonna give it? Unless he like brings it way down.
Well, I was gonna give it a B. I was gonna put it below part 3.
You know what? 3 S's.
I don't think
and A.
think it's that great. I mean, it's enjoyable, but
way.
it's definitely not as good as part 4, 2, or 1. Man, one's iconic. 1 and 2. I mean,
I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't
like
put it
saying
ahead of
Psycho 2 is better than Psycho 1. You don't do
Roy
that.
is Roy. I would almost
I
consider
think that's
Roy.
one.
I would almost
Everything
consider
about it.
Roy. I would almost consider Roy iconic. He is Jason adjacent. He is the butt of that joke I've been making. He's the original Jason adjacent. I was gonna say fucking Chris Kringle needs fucking Santa's helpers. Fucking Jason needs fucking other Jasons to fucking be
well,
in more than one place at the same time. For those
Regardless,
instances.
we got 3 S's, an A, and a B. I think that averages out to at least a low S. I think this might look fucked up, but I think it's a great movie too. Like I said, I can't. I have a
gonna
hard
hate
time.
me.
I have a hard time separating like just the influence of part 4. So I wouldn't put it ahead of that, but I don't care. I love them both the same.
I used to
um,
rent this movie over and over again.
Four's
My mom,
forgettable for me. That's what's sad.
my mom got so pissed off. I used to rent this movie over and over again because
Oh,
the fucking
dude, Jason
the
Lives
box.
is an S.
Hold on. The box, it shows a fucking a weird
Great.
different mask that's not in the movie, and I was so dumb that I thought like I'd never seen this movie. I never seen this one. I've never seen the movie where he has that
Cooper
mask.
mask, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I would rent it
Whenever I
again.
go to the con, whenever I go to the horror con, like, and they're selling the mask, like the Cooper mask, like it's always the most expensive one for whatever reason because it always
would
sells
literally-
out. So fast.
I literally try to rent this movie. My mom would be like, "We just brought that movie back," and I'd be like, "No, I've never
Yeah, I
seen it
wanna
with this
take it
mask."
back.
And then she brings me to the box and turns it over and shows that in the movie he has his blue mask. Remember that? Oh yeah, I did see that.
It's kind of like how they tricked your ass in Halloween 4, where he's got a sweet ass Halloween 1 mask, and then we get what we
Poster
got.
mask. Yeah, the poster
Then we
mask.
get that
Oh, yeah.
piece of shit
Bait
mask.
switch.
852.
They literally just took a screenshot from the movie or from stills from like the promotional of the first movie and made the 4th poster. It's genius.
That really is like a human tragedy, a film tragedy that they fucked up the masks in those movies and those sequels so much. Like,
It's
It's
so
funny
weird.
'cause they
I
agreed to
think
give
it's a lame excuse. Like what they just couldn't. They lost they couldn't redo it. Like how could you not just make
I
a closer replica? How could you not?
I think it's more about like effects studios and getting like they want their stamp on it. Like fucking K&B Effects wants to give fucking Jason a new look. They want his head to be all bubbly and look like he's got hemorrhoids all over his fucking body for their version. We'll
part of
get
me
to
thinks
that.
that part of me
Yeah.
thinks that because like now it's like so iconic, because we had many masks to compare to each other for so many decades, but back then it was like it's a white mask, so they probably didn't really think about it that much. You know what I mean?
Probably didn't think people gave a shit enough to notice. Like, I mean, you probably only care enough. You probably only care when you're a kid, and then we have so little. Like, we just have that much time on our hands that we'll notice shit like that. And all the adults were just like, "Oh, he's got a different map." Whatever.
I complain, but I think it's cool. I mean, like if I had a franchise under my belt too, I'd be like, yeah, we got to make it different for the sake of the franchise. We got it because you got to look at it outside of the fishbowl and be like, yeah, if this is as big as I want it to be in 20 years, I want people to be able to differentiate part 5 from part 4. Even Freddy Krueger, even though I didn't notice it as a kid, really, he looks different in every movie. Even if it's some of the movies it's more subtle than others, but like they always changed it. So it's cool. Now,
I'm with you, Mutineer. I'm with you, brother.
What'd he say?
Let
me see.
He doesn't like the fact there's an S.
Mutineer's about to unsub, boys. He's beyond himself at 5, getting an S.
If we were ranking these movies
I'm
based
gonna
off
unsub
just
myself,
pure,
Mutineer.
It's
just
kind
pure
of
merits, I wouldn't, put it as an S. But it's personal,
part.
Aaron said we're doing this personal ranking, so
Yeah.
Part
So
5
wait-
is almost like the closest thing we ever got to like a fucking scary movie, like a mock of the Friday the 13th movies, and it's just part of the series. Fucking, I think.
Well, what Mutineer? What do you give it? Because he says he likes it, but it's no S. So where would you land it? While he's answering that, let's move on to the one that I think this is where it really jumped the shark. This is where it's like, okay, we're dipping our toe back in there. We're bringing Jason back. Part 6. We're gonna get Horseshack. We're gonna fucking we're gonna lease Horseshack from that shitty show of his to come help resurrect Jason because we need that cash money.
I have to say, I love that they went that way. Like, I like that better. Like the fact that like the Saw series didn't just become fucking him, like coming back from the dead and like fucking having more tapes. Like, I would have respected that whole thing better if they did that. Fucking, I think this is so much more fun. Fucking, I applaud them for doing that. Fucking, and not just like fucking. It's gonna be a whodunit series now. Like, I just don't think that would have worked as well.
No, I like it, but this almost kind of became almost part of what people view Jason as. Oh, the guy that can't die. It's ridiculous. How's he going to come alive now? He gets electrocuted. It just added another layer to how the public ether thinks of Jason. At different points in this franchise, if they would have stopped, it would be viewed as different shit. Like we already said, the first two, if they stopped at the first one, it would be like just this weird cult classic slasher. The second one, a similar thing. And if they would have stopped at part 4, I think you would have been like chef's kiss. Like this franchise is perfect, and it would just be. But now we're at a point now where it's like, oh, it's that guy that never dies, and how are they going to bring him back now? And then we're obviously going to get to him fucking boxing and knocking people's heads off in New York City.
And in a way,
now
though,
we're in zombie Jason territory.
Yeah.
In a way, this is probably still kind of original because they probably didn't have movies that were that guy that dies until Jason, really.
Yeah,
like Halloween was kind of happening at the same time. The closest thing they could have compared it to would be like fucking a Frankenstein thing, which fucking is that's what we were comparing Freddy versus Jason to. It's like people were like, well, this is the first time this has been done. Fucking, in a way, yeah, fucking, it probably did still kind of seem original. They probably weren't too tired of it yet.
And I love the look of Jason in this one and the next one. I love how they kept changing it. I like them all. I mean,
the fly fishing, the tackle, and the
I think it's great. Yeah,
the workman gloves and shit.
All right, you
What?
guys are lost. This movie freaking stinks, dude.
This movie's so fun.
No way, Corey
I think it's-
Feldman.
Tom Matthews is fucking horrible in this.
This is kind of a cartoon, like fucking Scooby-Doo version. Because one thing that sucks about this movie is it's the only movie with no boobs. There are no women breasticles in this movie. No bare
I
naked
still love
chests.
it.
It's definitely become some more kid friendly Jason.
Kinda,
sure.
yeah.
It's Tom Matthews and Samantha, or what is it? Tom Matthews and Megan just driving around in a fucking car for an hour and a half.
I like
It's
Tom
so
Matthews.
dumb. It's so dumb.
No way, you gotta
His
listen to
acting
me.
is so bad.
He goes, no way, you gotta listen to me. Jason's coming, he's after me. Fucking that weird overdub. Like you can tell that. You
Brain
can tell
smells so rich and spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this movie was the one that was the peak, almost pinnacle of Friday the 13th when I was a kid in the 80s, and then
Right.
now it's like, it's like sinking down in quicksand for me as I get older. There's a lot of great things in it that I love. Like, I do like the looks. I think CJ Graham's a great Jason. I like the sort of universal horror opening and all that. And it's got some fun humor in it, but the humor's too much, I feel like, a little bit. Like the wrong type of humor. The slapsticky stuff is doesn't really do it for me. But
It's like when it went. fucking type of humor, like fucking
Yeah,
like Saved by
it's-
the Bell type of shit going on with the cast
Like,
members.
yeah. I mean, some of
Was
Don't
that
say
paint-
that. Todd would
I'll
like
say-
it more if it was like
Was
Saved
it-
by the Bell.
That
She
stupid
gets-
paintball scene gives it a D in itself, right?
Yeah,
She
the
gets killed.
daylight kills, and like they got the paintball, and like, yeah, that didn't really work for me either, man. I didn't really care for that, but it's got a lot of good stuff in it too. But
I think
Like
this
fucking-
one is a step back from the previous few we talked about. Yeah, it goes a little bit sad, but I still don't hate this movie. I mean, it's,
I don't hate
no,
it.
I don't. No, it's definitely higher up. It's on the.
It's a B.
uh,
It's a high B.
Yeah, it's probably right up there with part 3, depending on my mood. If I'm in the mood for it.
I think it's in front of.
When's the last
third
time
one.
you saw this movie, Aaron?
I think the last time I watched, we've
My
done them all for
Basement?
commentaries.
Oh, okay.
No, we've done. God dang, you should. I've done these fucking movies with Josh James. I've done these on our channels. I've seen these movies enough.
Because I
You
couldn't
know?
imagine you liking part 6, man.
No,
Part
it
five-
is. It goes.
heard
It is like a
fun.
cartoon. You summed it up great. I think
I-
part 6 and 7 they take a step back down. They're just. I'm
Right.
trying not to be blinded by
Seven's
how cool they
definitely-
look. Right, because I think they look cool. I think Jason.
Seven
looks
definitely
awesome.
looks cool.
Yeah,
I would
but,
I would probably
This
put
is
this
also the
one.
movie. Sorry, man. Sorry.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Fuck, we got a lag going for when there's this many people in here. But I would, in the fucking ranking of the series, I would actually put this one solidly between part one.
Two.
I would give this movie an 8. Fucking, I
Oh,
would
yeah,
say
I
it's a
think
little
it
better.
goes up there with between 2 and 1.
I might rank it a little. I might rank it right after part 1.
I would put it here or here, maybe behind 3. I don't care, a little ahead of 3. I mean, it's in this ballpark for me. I would say it's a 6, which is good. I don't think that's a 6 is good.
This is
If
the
I-
first. This is the first Friday the 13th where Jason became a packaged product. You know what I mean?
He's
And
a
it was like
zombie
appealing,
movie.
trying to make it appealing to kids, and it was like, it had achieved its status. So you got Alice Cooper coming in there doing songs, and it kind of became really a parody of itself.
You would think that
you
would
know?
give it more points for Todd. Alice
They-
Cooper had his toes dipped in Freddy and this, man.
They were
I'm
probably
not saying
That's,
at all.
that's why
Yeah.
Freddy's Dead is terrible too.
Teenage
But no-
Frankenstein and fucking Man Behind the Mask. I love Alice Cooper, but
in
I'm
a
just
way.
saying it became a studio package thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where like it wasn't really charting new territories at all. Like, and it wasn't like had become this phenomenon. So it was a totally different animal. I think at that point when they're bringing it back, Jason Lives. It
We
was
were
like-
getting into it was starting to keep up with the Freddy and the Fat Boys and the
Similar-
marketing and all that shit at the same time. I mean,
Similar
Freddy
to the
was
way
same.
people look at there's just some people that don't like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 because it has that thing about like fucking it made Freddy comical
A
and
pop
shit. This
culture, yeah.
this is kind of that for this series, and I think they were looking at Freddy as like they were trying to emulate that and try to make it more like fucking so that kids could like think of him as a cool character and shit, see him on the cereal box or whatever they
Yeah,
do.
it's like your mom's fucking Friday the 13th. It's like, oh, there's that character my kid likes. I'll take him to the movie, and it's like PG-13 safe, fucking, Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So,
well,
but there's a lot of great stuff in it. I still have a soft spot for part 6 for sure.
so rapid
Yeah,
Like
fire.
when he
leaves you
when he
soft.
falls into her lap and like looks at her vagina.
Fucking it leaves you soft.
That's a good scene. That's a good
That's
scene.
why you have a soft.
Tommy
spot.
Jarvis gets a whiff of the puss, like
Hell
fucking,
yeah. And he looks up at her and she's like gets pissed. And he's like,
All
hell
right.
yeah, dude.
The fact that that's a
Well-
scene you remember
After
is
we
probably
killed
like
Jason,
aside-
after we killed Jason, I'm coming after that. That's what he's
I
saying.
I always really liked the way Jason looked in the movie. I thought he looked creepy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
always
looked
thought
awesome.
like the scenes of him in the cabin with the kid
The
creeped
worms.
me out as a kid because I was.
I just remember when this movie came out, my classmate who lived next door, we were talking about, hey, did you see the new Friday the 13th movie? I hadn't seen it yet, and she was like, she fucking spoiled it for me. She goes, it's fucking stupid. They drown him with a giant rock. At the end. And I was
gonna
like,
say-
that's so
I
fucking
like
stupid.
that.
For a second, I was kind of thinking like that does kind of boil it down and make it seem stupid when you boil it down
does,
like
and
that.
it's hard.
But,
That'd be
Yeah.
hard.
but what's funny? What's funny is when you said that she spoiled it for me, I was like, how could she spoil this? It's the killer's Jason. Like, how did nobody know? And then oh yeah, I guess everybody knows the killer's Jason.
They
Fucking-
couldn't
it's
think
not a
about
whodunit.
chopping him up or throwing the rock on his head. It's just tie the rock to the chain and throw him in the. And like, how did they get all that? That's
It
a
works.
hard ass kill.
It
All
works.
right,
it's
let's round table it. So I give it a B. Mac, what do you give it?
And this is one of my favorites, man. It's up there.
The only
I
bad
don't
thing
know.
about it is that it doesn't have the boobs in there. There's no boobies.
I don't, dude. I don't care about that.
I know it doesn't really matter.
cared-
but
I don't know, it was
when we think
goofy.
of the series, we think of two things. We think of Jason. We
I
think
think
of
it's a
boobies.
low. I don't know. I think it's honestly. I love it, but I feel like half of it's because I was, that was. I don't know. But anyway, I'd say like a high.
I think
B,
it's half
low
because I
A.
was retarded.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
All right, so you're ballparking me. I'd
That's
say
what he
it's
was
a
gonna
B.
say.
All right, Josh, what do you give it? Where does it land?
What's B? Is it?
So a B would be 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
It's
yeah.
gonna be with part 3 somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's a high B. That's
Even though
right.
I like part 3.
I'd say
more
in front of 3.
Okay, Todd, you're gonna hate this. So what is it? How
I would,
how,
I would
how-
give it a C minus.
Oh, okay. So
I think
Zach,
it's shitty.
so right now we're at a B, but Todd kind of brings it down unless Zach saves us. Zach loves it. What did you give it?
Oh, did I not already tell you? I give it
Yeah,
an 8
what
out of
was
10.
it? So Zach gives it an A. That brings us to a high B
B.
average. I think it's gonna stay right. I think that puts it
Ugh.
above 3.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think I put it right after.
Todd's
part
like
one.
dying over here.
Man, this tier list is horrible, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people in the chat, man. This tier list is
Hey, well, at least
terrible.
it's not predictable, Makes it more.
Okay.
interesting.
Well, part 7, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with part 6. It's just a
Oh,
little
I'll
bit worse.
Yeah, the telekinesis shit's kind of goofy.
Yeah,
it's
it's,
straight up just went full cartoon. It just
I-
said, you know what, we're kind of cartoon. Let's go full cartoon.
At least it
I
takes
re-
place at night, though,
Fucking
which actually makes it a
Roadrunner.
little more creepier. So
When-
Right?
when-
Yeah.
I would
Wh-
say
And
it's
it
a
brings
better
the lake
film.
back too.
Yeah.
Which is
When
I like the way he
think-
looked too. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
When I think of the fucking the plot of this movie and how everything unwraps, the fact that Jason looks so fucking awesome in this movie, the fact that the plot is basically they wanted to do Freddy versus Jason at this point, but the studio couldn't agree
Right,
on
yeah.
licensing Jason out or licensing fucking Freddy out. So fucking they basically just like we're just gonna take that idea and we're
Make
gonna
it a
have
dream
we're gonna
thing.
change it. We're gonna change it to a girl that has telekinesis. Fucking,
And she
it's-
does look like the girls from fucking Nightmare on Elm Street.
So
She looks
in a
like
way,
a Nightmare on Elm Street final girl.
in a way, this movie became known as fucking Jason versus Carrie. Fucking
Yeah, pretty
Quite a lot
much.
of
Yeah.
It definitely has the worst ending out of any. Well, most of the Friday the 13th, but I still think it's a better film.
It's
The
super,
ending's
it's super
very dumb.
random. It's super random.
It's a
The ending
shitty
is-
ending.
Star
how-
Mummy.
Yeah, how they got in touch with Jason was super weird.
And the father comes out of the water to grab Jay. It's so dumb.
So this
That's
is,
basic-
but this is the introduction of Kane Hodder to the series,
Yeah, and he
It
was
is.
great, Jason. But yeah,
and it's a great makeups.
yeah.
What's his
Hell
name? I'm drawing a blank on the guys. The
John
makeup
Carl
effects.
Beekler.
The Beekler, yeah.
Yeah.
Beekler's director.
He made this one. Yep.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sacrilege, but I know we just kind of already said that part 4 was the best. I think this is the best Jason.
You think so?
It's over the top. Like I think 4 is in a way scarier. Like this one,
I don't know. It kind
obviously,
of looks like a werewolf demon. I don't know.
part 7 goes a little full tilt with it, where it looks kind of silly. Like okay, this is clearly a prosthetics and a costume, and
I think
and-
6 looks decent.
whereas 4, it still looked like an intimidating dude with a mask on. I don't know, but there's something about like this is my favorite of all the NECAs. I love it, like that quarter scale, Todd. I love that part 4 quarter scale. I wish it was part 7 though.
If Kane Hodder was taller, I'd give it more respect. Give him more respect. But he's short, dude. So he's no Jason.
We wanted Charles Bronson to be.
He's like 5'2",
Jason.
dude.
He's not intimidated enough to pull off this look.
No.
Fuck him.
Yeah, but
I-
Michael Keaton's short too, and he's like the best Batman that ever was, man.
Mhm.
Still, I mean, he wears he heightens, dude. He wears fucking stilts around, dude.
Well, that's the
Kane
entire
Hodder.
reason why Kane Hodder lost the Freddy vs. Jason gig because when it all
I
came-
thought you were making an ironic joke.
no,
That's what I
no,
thought
when
you were
it,
implying.
when it all when it all
The
came
Freddy
down
vs.
to
Jason.
it, when they
It's
all
'cause he
came
was
down
shorter,
to it, yeah, it's like, hey, we got to have him next to Freddy. He's got to look more imposing. So you're not cutting the mustard, Kane Hodder. Sorry. Even though they could have easily put platforms on that fucking guy. How often? I mean, they could have got around
They
that.
could have
It's so
put him on
silly.
an Apple box or something. Yeah, it's like that's really dumb. And then
They really could have got
like,
around it.
They could have, yeah, they could have had like a stunt guy doing the long shots, and then they could have had him on the apple box. I mean,
That's,
really
that's,
should. I think the movie would have done better if they kept him.
It
If
wasn't
that-
worth.
you know.
It wasn't worth burning the guy that had been with the franchise for so long at that point.
If that happened today, people would be like, "That's Hydeism, fuck you," and then they would have hired him again. Like wokeism would have won.
Mhm.
It would have got us a better
Yeah.
movie, probably.
Kane would have got straight to HR, and it would have been fucking in the newspapers the next day, right?
K-Mod.
All right, so where are we at? So I would
Game
say
modern.
this one. I would say this one is a 5 out of 10, to be honest, but still a B. I'd say it's a lower B for me.
Yeah, that's
This
fine.
is-
I agree.
This is my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't.
Probably.
It's probably like, yeah.
Oh, the whole
There's something.
the whole
There's
series?
something.
We'll get there.
I don't like the story. It's boring.
I feel
the-
like I feel bad for this movie because I feel like it was going to be an awesome movie, and then the
Mhm.
fucking producer stepped in and fucked it all up. And
Like,
all the gore.
I would
all the
put it
gore.
right there behind those guys. That's kind of where I would put it.
I would go C for me.
Really?
But personally,
They-
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
This-
C too.
Apparently,
Okay,
this
so-
got done the worst by the MPAA with all the
Yeah.
gore getting. Every
yeah.
single gore scene got.
I'm gonna
cut
say
out.
a C plus.
A C
High
though.
C.
Keep in mind in the context of these scores, a C is at a highest of 4 out of 10, which that's automatically a bad movie. I mean, like I think if you're below a 5, that's not a good movie. So
I
you guys-
actually, I dislike this movie. I gave it a
Okay.
I don't
3 out
like
of
it.
10.
That's a
okay.
C
I mean,
plus.
I'm cool with giving it a 4
C
out of 10.
plus.
I'll bring.
I'll give it
it
an
might
A
be-
because I think it should be B tier.
Fair
It might-
enough.
It actually,
Touche.
it might be
minus.
one of those
Man's
things where
shooting dirty pool over here. He's like,
No,
fucking-
okay.
B minus. I give it to him. It's a B minus.
So Todd called it a B minus. Max said a B minus. Zach, where did you stand?
I'll
a C?
take that.
3 out of 10.
Ooh,
It's-
okay, that's a
I
low
dislike
C.
this movie. I dislike.
Okay, and Josh is a
movie.
C.
I'd say
right?
it's a 5 out of 10. So like, it's definitely C for me, but it could creep in.
But a 5 out of 10 is
right
a B.
behind.
A B.
It creeps
the
in
thing-
right behind Jason. So no,
I-
I mean
it
the
could
weird thing is
be.
I actually like. There's other.
You
movies
know
out-
what? You know what? I do like it better than 3, so I'll give it that.
So yeah, but Josh, there's no F in this, so a 5 out of 10 is a B. That's a low B.
Yeah.
So
It-
that's
it
where I'm
could
at.
be-
I think it's a 5.
Jason X is a fucking F, dude.
We're
What are you
not there,
talking about?
dude. We're not
Oh,
there,
it's-
dude.
the-
Don't
We're
Hold on,
always
let's leave-
there.
I think this movie, like, because fucking I think I overhyped it because I found out when I was in, like, I don't know, fucking like 8th or 9th grade that there was a fucking classic Friday the 13th movie I hadn't seen because I was too young to understand the Roman numerals, so I never noticed as a kid that one was missing. I thought fucking it just went from 6 to fucking 8 in fucking New York. If you think about it, it still works because fucking he got tied to the fucking rock and then he's underneath some rubble as if something fell on him over time. So it was like there was just a blank spot in my mind. So I found out because I went to my cousin's house. His mom worked at a video store. I saw the poster for the movie we were talking about, fucking Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood, and I was like, there is a fucking the poster is so fucking cool looking.
Poster
'Cause
art's
I knew
awesome,
nothing about-
dude.
I knew nothing about this movie, and I put so much fucking hype into it. I found it on DVD. I got it from Some Coast Video, so I overpaid for it. Fucking, I never liked it.
Okay, well, let's put a cork in it. It's going right here. That's where it averaged out.
Yep. That's good.
All
Sorry,
right. Okay, I'm sorry. This one might be divisive. I fucking hate Takes Manhattan. I think
I love
it's a
it.
shit
It's kind
movie.
of
I love it.
classic,
I kinda
dude.
love
It's
it.
funny as fuck. The Jason is horrible, fucking horrible. They couldn't have kept
Slimy
it with
Jason.
part 6 or 7. Like
Yeah.
they
I'm
couldn't
gonna
have
come
made
out
it
right
like
now.
that still.
I'm gonna come out right now. People say that Part 8 is the worst he's ever looked. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think
No, I don't
it-
either.
His egg yolk, yeah, it's horrible.
there's something about it that is
Goofy.
egg yolk Jason. He does kind of
But
look
it's
like
so,
that.
It goofy and fake looking. It doesn't work.
I think he looks
doesn't
awesome,
work.
man. I think he looks fucking
I
awesome.
think I
The
love the
mask
way he
looks
looks.
good. The
How about
mask
the
is
fact?
great.
Well, how about the fact that the movie's just not good? It's a bait and switch.
Well,
He
think
spends
about
the
it.
whole fucking
Aaron.
movie. What?
It is an insult. It is. An
How
insult.
long did he have to piss on his mask before it got stained that yellow color? It looks cool.
I don't
From being in
hate
the water,
I don't.
baby.
I'm not fighting you on the look. It is whatever. I think we're starting to
This-
increase that tilt. It's going into full.
Yeah, I got-
It's going a little
It-
bit
this
too
should be
far from
called-
7. But
This should just be called Jason on a boat. Jason, fucking
Yeah.
love boat type of shit.
it was total marketing trickery. It's like Jason on a boat the whole damn time, and then the last fucking 10, 15 minutes or whatever they're actually in Manhattan. It's like it's so cheap. I
The
just
characters are forgettable.
In a
Oh,
way,
the characters are awesome. What are you talking about? Charles is the creepiest.
Hey, you
fucking
got
guy
you got
in
our
the
boy,
series,
you got our
man.
boy that tries to climb up to the bird's nest or whatever. Fucking, he's from Puppet Master 4 and 5.
This movie is
Mac loves it then.
fantastic.
he's a
man.
nobody in this
No.
movie. He has
Yeah, he's
This
a
movie-
nobody in this
This
movie.
movie is fantastic.
I think him on the boat, which is most of the movie, is the most boring
I'm
shit
on a
in the world.
boat.
Oh, I
I
don't
think
think
it's
so
boring.
either.
The,
Ever.
dude,
I
the,
don't
the
like
It's
it.
chick,
great.
the fucking chick with the Stacy ass guitar that's just filming
Yeah.
herself in the
She's hot.
what is Stacy?
There's some hotties in this one for sure.
The fact that she died so early in the movie is kind of the worst part. Like, what if she was like a character that lasted? Any chick that likes shit I like fucking heavy metal, like this is a chick I want to see more of in the movie. Why'd you kill her off so fucking hardcore crusty?
Well, you got the teacher seducing the
Hardcore
student
crust.
and all that stuff. It's creepy, man. It's Kane Hodder. I think looks good in this. I
Dude,
don't-
the
I don't care
rock,
what you say.
the sauna rocks, dude.
Yeah.
That's
in
a
the
great
chest.
kill.
Ooh, that hurts so good.
It looks so
That's a
fake and
good
goofy because
kill.
there's no
It's
blood,
funny.
there's no guts, but it's like it.
There's
I love
nothing.
it.
It's just air.
There's a
It's just
there's
like
a part of
going
me
into nothing.
there's a part of me that thinks if you kill somebody with a lava rock, that's how it would look.
It just
And I
sinks
shit
in.
you not. I shit you not.
The poster art's awesome too, man. I don't know. I love
Poster
this movie.
art's fucking phenomenal.
I
I
love,
love
it.
this movie.
It's a good thing we're
The
not
fucking
grading the
colors.
poster art though. It's not enough. It is a good poster, but I just think
Did you ever
If
see
they
the
a-
original
if-
poster?
Yes.
Fucking
One,
it,
I
it
love
actually
New York. Or
the I love Jake.
it actually kind of sucks. This one's kind of better because they had to
Yeah.
fucking. Basically, it's the same poster. They just had the
look.
take out the I love New York around it. Fucking just
Had
made
they
it a bigger
actually made
picture.
an effort, to make a movie that lives up to the name, and it was actually in New York or Manhattan, I just
hey,
it
it
would
was
be
for
probably
10
better.
minutes, man.
The best thing they could have done was just hire Danny Steinman again and let him make his version.
And did he
of this
really
movie.
take Manhattan? He really took it, didn't he? He didn't really take anything. I
They were
don't
probably
know.
He
thinking of it
took that.
like
He smashed that fucking boombox.
they were probably
Yeah.
thinking about it the way they ended up
Knock
thinking
that
about.
fucking dude's head off, man.
He took
Yeah,
the-
that's the funniest part. I have to sit there for an hour and 10 minutes to get there.
I think I know the reasoning. I think I know the reasoning. I think they were thinking about it like with Freddy versus Jason. It's like you don't give them Freddy fighting Jason the whole time. That gets boring. You save it till the end. So you saving fucking him getting to Manhattan till the end. And plus, we don't have that much of a budget. We can't really film there the whole time. So fucking budget restraints.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they can actually get away with some of that with the budget they probably had.
Obviously, they had to do something completely different, but kind of the same. Like, the whole boat thing. I don't know. I mean,
I think it's kind of fun, man.
I like part 8. I think it's a fucking raucous, good time. Like it's definitely insulting to the fans, but once
It
you get
is. It's
past that,
insultingly
like,
stupid. It's like
once
the
you get
fuck.
past that, it's like fun. I
There-
enjoy
there's-
watching it.
There's two
But I-
moments in the movie where fucking Jason just teleports, like he gets from one end of a place to somewhere he couldn't possibly be just to kill somebody, just to have like a jump scare. It's like that is so insulting, but whatever, we could do it.
Yeah.
Mutineer is saying he hates part 7 ending. Come on. He says part 8 is way worse. He's a boy. He turns into a boy. It is stupid, but it's funny. I like it.
I love
like
they
it.
bring back they now have like 3 different kids who have played him as a kid. And none of them look the same. There's like 3 different kids in this movie. Like one of the he comes out of the
Yeah.
mirror, he looks like an Asian kid, like fucking just out of nowhere, just in that one scene. And then he has hair all of a sudden.
If you listen to this movie, there's some like behind the scenes stuff with the director, or like maybe in the director's commentary, you figure out pretty quick that this guy had no business making a Friday the 13th movie at all. Like he just don't get it. He don't get it at all. One big spot where this movie shit the bed though is with the ending makeups with the demasked, where the water, which I do like the water coming out of the mouth, but the look
horrible.
I thought was a huge
Oh
fucking
man, that was
letdown,
awesome, dude.
Let down.
He looked like a fucking pile of silly putty, dude. Like what the
Yeah.
hell?
Horrible, like
He
prosthetics,
makes me-
everything was bad.
He makes me think of the fucking guy from RoboCop after he gets the fucking goo on him.
Oh yeah,
that dissolves him. Fucking, I kind of like it for that reason. But he does. He looks like a mud monster or something.
He
Like a Freddy
does,
Freddy
dude,
Dark.
yeah. He's creepy, man.
I'm gonna be a
It
little.
just looks too Toxic Avenger. I don't. It's. Too
I'm gonna be
goofy.
slightly positive.
I love the
with-
Toxic Avenger.
I do
Yeah,
too, but
that's-
it's too goofy for that. I don't know.
I'm
not
gonna be generous just because I have to leave room for what's coming after, and I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10, which is a bad movie. I don't think it's a good movie, but that's technically a low C. Technically,
I'm gonna say it's behind 7 or fuck.
This is definitely
way
an
better
A
than
tier. This is an A tier for me.
You
really.
think so?
Yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. How you like part 5? I like part 8 like that. I love this
Okay.
movie.
Yeah,
Where's it land?
I'm a-
Where's it
I'm a
land?
s-
I would
Zach,
give
what
this a
about you?
7 out of 10. I
Really?
think it's
I'm gonna
just-
say it's a B.
I
I'm gonna
think-
say it's a B.
I like it like I
2As.
like the 6th movie. Like they're both fun
That's what I'm
cartoon
saying. I like it
movies.
more than I do part 3.
Wow. Okay, so are you a B then, Mac? A high B or an A?
I don't know. It's a bad movie. It is a bad movie.
So why don't you call it a high B? Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
It's a bad movie, but I like it.
But 7's bad too. It's
Well, let's be
It's-
honest,
it's
these are
only-
all bad movies.
It's only rock and roll, but I like it.
None of
Fucking,
them
it's a
are
bad
good
movie, but I
movies.
like it. Fucking, that's all
I think
I can say about
you're
this
on
movie.
a high B is kind of what you're teetering on. And that's okay. What about you, Josh?
it's a low
It's
B
gonna
for me.
be
Low B.
right along. It's gonna be in the B tier, somewhere between 6 and 7, probably.
Okay. So that's what
I-
averages. If I'm a low C and you and Mac are both in the B's and they're A's, I mean it's in the B somewhere.
It's probably the B plus.
The
Can I put
bee's
it behind
knees.
everything?
No, you can't put it behind that.
At
You
least
gotta
here.
Oh, it's
at
it's so much
least.
fucking better
no,
than 7.
it's better than
It's way better than
Yeah.
7. And
I would
Yeah.
say it's
better than
better than
6.
3. I would say it's better than 3. I think it's funner than 3.
It's funner than 6 too.
Oh,
I would
It's a
probably
fun
put it
movie.
behind 6.
I mean, a guy gets
I
his
don't
head
think it's-
punched off. I mean, yeah.
we're gonna leave it right there, boys.
That guy does get his head.
You guys are
A guy gets his head punched off, and then Jason puts the head in a car to scare
That should
people.
have been the Mortal Kombat fatality. He just walks up and punches his head off.
This definitely needs to be in an A tier, man.
all right.
Plus-
No,
Plus,
so
Darkest
funny.
Side of the Night is a fucking killer song, man.
It is a
I don't
great
know.
song, man.
It
Oh, that's a
is.
great fucking intro. That's
It's
a great
good
intro.
song.
This is the first movie.
It's a good movie.
This is the first
Let's
movie that
move-
doesn't have the classic black background and then just white text over the open. It's got the we gotta have the adrenaline pumping to get the terror going, good people.
That's Bane
always thought-
Jason.
I always thought that was Jason saying that as a kid. He was. The
I always thought
guy
it was
on the
Jason
radio.
Statham.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Jesus Christ.
no. Let's move on to Browner Pastures because it just gets worse from here. I think Jason Goes to Hell is a bad movie, and just
Yeah.
because, like, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna jump right to the gun, and I'm gonna only give it a 3 out of 10 because it gets worse, and I want to leave room. But
This movie gets a 4 out of 10 just because of that one kill with the chick and the guy doing it in the tent, and then the fucking thing comes through her, and then he splits her in half. That's the best kill in the series. It literally is.
I think the idea is awesome. I think it's a cool idea. I'm not even mad that Jason's not really in it. That it's kind of a troll to the fans. I remember seeing this as a kid, and I remember watching that doctor, that bootleg fat Keith David bite into the heart. That made me want to vomit as a kid. Like, oh
Yeah, that
There was
was
something.
cool.
There
It
was
was so-
something. This was the first movie that really got gross out type of
Yeah, it
gore
got really
in it.
gory
Like
with
fucking,
blood.
I never thought I'd see someone eat a heart in a Jason movie. It's a heart that looks like it's covered in shit too. That makes it even better.
some Twitch streamer had to swat Jason to kill him, right? And they blew him into bits.
That's kind
you
of the
know,
plot of this movie. If somebody was gonna resell it, you could literally say that's the plot, and I would buy it and watch it for that plot.
this is a movie I remembered being better than it really was because I saw this like with a lot of them when I was a kid, and I remembered little parts that I really liked. And then I, of course, saw this VHS cover everywhere, which, by the way, it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that was like a serpent going through the eyes. I thought his mask was like chipped and he had a tiny little baby face down there. I'm like, why is Jason's face so tiny? But
Oh.
and then when I like revisited this movie as I got older, I'm like, this is bad. This is not
I don't
good.
know, man. I thought it got better as I got older.
Really? It
This-
got worse. So much worse.
As a kid, I could
Yeah.
never get into this movie. I remember the first time I watched it, it had to have just come out, and I never heard anything about it. I didn't even know there was a new Jason movie come out. And fucking, I was hanging out with some friends as a kid, and they fucking their friends came over, and it was like fucking the new Jason movie, and I was like, "Fucking mom, can I go watch the new Jason?" It was like I didn't even know. I was so excited, and of course, this is the first movie I get to see as it's coming out. Fucking this isn't like me going back in time, but and I'm watching it and it's like fucking. Of course, Jason isn't in the movie. Like fucking, this is the movie where Jason actually is in the movie. Fucking people hate Part 5, because of that. I always said, fucking, if you're gonna hate a movie, like Part 5 is great because it's got you don't need Jason. This guy hockey mask, baby.
Yeah, you don't need him in this either because I mean that opening scene of him in the cabin was freaking iconic, man.
Exactly. Fuck.
I think you're throwing around iconic a little loosely, but it is cool.
It
But-
is a great opening for Jason because it's like fucking okay, I'm doing a new movie. How do I want to start it? You kind of do. There's a part of you that wants to fucking just throw a wrench in it and fucking like, oh, it starts out with Jason dying. Fuck it.
I love the twist they did. I like the direction. I think the boardroom pitch, the elevator pitch is great. There's something about it that's just so fucking dull. I just don't like it. And of course, once again, we still had the developmental hell of Freddy vs. Jason, so they tried latching that on at the end. And I remember seeing that as a kid and thinking it was so cool.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie.
They got bootleg because that's the thing is all the kids on like the blacktop were talking about it, and I almost felt like, no, you guys are lying. You guys are pulling my leg. They didn't really because I had no concept of, what studios own these properties and I thought it was unheard of that you had any crossovers. Like that just doesn't exist. And it turned out to be true. And I didn't even really take note that it wasn't Robert Englund or anything because they cleverly just kind of hide his face. And
I kind of forget how they got away with that. How did they get away with
And they got the
doing
bootleg glove. It's like a bad looking, gold looking shit glove. I don't know what that thing is. It's not a very good.
It had to be a similar situation to like Freddy's Dead with using the Nintendo "I'm playing with power" thing. Like they were just like, we don't care if they sue us. We'll pay them off.
Okay, is it possible they could have gotten away with it by having, you know what I mean? Like what is Freddy?
I don't know. Yeah.
Where does the line of likeness get drawn? Because you never saw his face. You saw what his sweater look like? Was his sweater like a? They don't own a green and red striped sweater, so it's like you don't own the rights to that.
Exactly. Basically, yeah. This is the movie where they try to like we got to do something different. Now he can body swap. Like he
was
can
a
just
nice
fucking.
mask though.
It was an interesting idea. I mean, looking back, it's not a very good movie, but it's interesting.
The series started out as a whodunit. What if Jason could just body swap and become a bunch of different faces?
And then the demon started showing up, and it was goofy.
Kill people.
Yeah, it's like fucking Shocker bullshit. It's
there's something about that that's fucking like that is a cool idea. There's images of this movie like the fucking guy at the police station. He's just so fucking creepy looking and he's got the black shit coming out of his mouth. That shit is like burned in my skull. Like that shit creeped me out as a kid. Like fucking this is almost just as scary as Jason in a hockey mask. I remember thinking that and like the other guy, the dude fucking that scene where he's fucking killing the kids having sex. It's like this would just be fucking creepy. Like this is just some random person just kind of creepy. Fucking it's something about it works, but like fucking it is. The movie's just kind of like.
You think it would have been a better movie if they grabbed the hockey mask and put it on when they became Jason?
There's just a part of him that
or would
just
it
has
be
to have a
very
mask.
weird? Would it be very weird?
It'd be goofy and like. The fact the people always remember this movie as being goofy because Jason becomes some guy and then he shaves them and then he becomes like. Was he just afraid of kissing him with the guy when he had a beard? Like he just had to shave him before he put his mouth up against his mouth? Because that's how Jason had to body swap. He had to like he shaved a person and then put his mouth up against their mouth and then just like shat out a fucking demon turd into their mouth. And now that's Jason.
Let's just expedite this shit
Yeah,
show.
we're-
Come on,
we're-
man.
yeah,
We're
we're
going
gonna
long,
get
and
rid
this
of it.
we're spending way too much time on these bad ones. I
Fucking,
think
I
this
get-
is a
I give this
3 out of
movie
10.
4 out of
It's
10.
it's a D.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
I would throw it a C.
There's
I don't think it's the worst of the series, but
There's a part of me that wants to say it's
You're
like a 5
right,
out of
it's a
10.
C.
There's a part of me that wants to say it's a 5 out of 10, but like I think it is kind of a lacking in like the pacing is a
This
little
is the
weird.
one This is the one I kind of feel like is the part Halloween 3 out of the series.
Yeah.
The
It's
stuff
just
with
so,
the dude,
it's
the
so
Jason
like
Hunter?
it just it breaks the formula and it just becomes like this weird, convoluted, confusing mess that some director had an idea and it just didn't work out. Like even the stuff they did early in the movie with Kane Hodder and like the look of Kane Hodder and the fucking Jason in this one fucking
This-
sucks.
This is the worst look.
Terrible.
Jason's. I think.
I
this is
think
the
he looks
worst one.
weird. He looks bootleg and shitty,
Bloated head with the mask is like, and then the coverall.
It's
I don't know. what
baked
they were-
into his fucking head.
They blow him up, and it just
This one looks
Yeah.
like this one looks like what it is. He's like in a giant prosthetic costume. He doesn't look like he's wearing a mask anymore. He just put on like I don't know. It looks like the kind of
Jumpsuit.
mask we could buy at a store.
That was K and B effects who were like the top of the game. Everybody knew K and B. They were like, "Fucking K and B's involved. Fucking, they're gonna do practical effects. It's gonna be awesome."
More
And
like
I think,
KB Toys.
I think they got too fucking. I think they started huffing their own farts because somebody should have
It
been
was
there to tell them this
horrible.
is a little too goofy. This is a little too goofy.
I like
But
the
it-
mask though. I thought
They
it was
probably.
cool.
They probably figured. I think the mask is the worst part. Like the fact that it's
think?
like fucking the chips around it and the way it sits on his face. It just looks so goofy.
From part 7 it works. Or 8.
There's something about it that reminds me of like SpongeBob whenever it would like zoom into their face and they look all disgusting out of nowhere. And, like fucking they look normal. Then they'd get like a close up of their face. There's something about it like that. Fucking
Gentlemen,
weird.
we're still talking about
Yeah,
the shitty
let's-
movie.
let's hurry
We're
up
still
on this
talking
one.
really quick
4 out
though.
of
It's
10.
meta. Am I misremembering, or is the antagonist didn't he go on to star in the show? Unrelated. It's the same
Yes.
guy from the
It
series.
was, yeah.
And it's that used to fuck with me as a kid because I didn't know what I was remembering right or wrong. It was almost like Mandela effect before Mandela effect was a thing. But yeah. Anyway,
the
okay,
Jason
so
Hunter subplot in the
C
scene
or
where
D,
he's
I don't really
breaking.
care.
what do you
He's
give it,
breaking
Josh?
scenes.
You're gonna be the clincher because it looks like we're all kind of in the
It's still
3 and 4.
the run of the litter for me. It's on the bottom. It's
Okay.
D.
D. I mean, who cares? Fuck it.
I don't
Go
even
on,
know
Heidi.
this
It's a big
fucking.
hunk of poopy.
I've seen this movie like 6 times. I can't even tell you what the fucking plot. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
All
It's
right,
worse
yeah,
than part 7 though to me.
All right, we're just gonna put this back
D,
here.
That's a D too.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
this movie shit. Once again, it's something new. Got to respect it. They're doing something different. It stands out in the franchise for sure.
what
Riverman
this
and I have
movie
told the
is?
story a million times. It's bad. What?
I just realized this. This movie is literally fucking Limp Bizkit
like this
significant
movie.
other. This is Limp Bizkit significant other.
Yes,
the
it
fucking the poster looks just like it. It's the fucking Limp Bizkit generation movie. That's exactly what it is. You all know it, and you're so pissed off at me because you like that album and you hate this movie, but it's all true. And you can just sit there and you can swallow the truth and let it destroy you.
This movie was built on broken promises. It's like we got that initial really cool kill with the cryo frozen guy smashing the head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's sweet. And the movie just took a shit. Everything
It's
about this
bad.
movie's bad. It's
Terrible.
it's a fucking 1 out of 10. I don't.
remember-
It's just bad.
I was so excited.
I think
for
they,
this movie.
they didn't they like they made this movie to hang on to the license, right? So it was like one of those weird like interim movies. And
I think they did this movie because they wanted a movie to come out and they knew that fucking Freddy vs. Jason was still in developmental hell, and that's the only thing they bothered to even come up with, to the point where they were just like fucking.
I wanted to walk
gonna
out.
keep doing
I
that.
wanted to walk out of this one.
Hipsters are trying to bring this movie back, saying how great it is.
No, me and
It
Todd both
feels-
wanted to walk out.
It feels like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's shit. So
yeah, it has that problem in it, but I definitely enjoy watching it way more than Jason Goes to Hell. So it would definitely be C tier for me personally.
Yeah, I would say that too.
thoughts on
I would
Uber
give it. I would give it a Z tier. I'd give it lower than D tier. It's fucking shit.
thoughts on Uber Jason. What Uber Jason look?
I think this one's better
Whatever.
than Jason 10 and
I've never been a
fine.
fan of Uber Jason.
Max just moves on. Uber J, who cares? This movie's better
Yeah.
than.
They should have given Uber Jason the mask that we didn't get from Jason Goes to Hell. You know, the fucking crow mask that you thought, oh shit, that's gonna be dope. A crow
could've.
Jason mask.
I don't know why they didn't.
What do you got? What so you guys talking about the pre Uber Jason where it's like before he turns into? What about that one? That one's kind of weird. He almost looks like it. Am I remembering
I-
it wrong? Doesn't it almost like Hannibal Lecter looking like in some of
Yeah, I don't
edges
like
and-
that look either. That's not
He's
great.
got pubic hairs. He's got the pubic
Yeah.
hairs on his head. And
Yeah,
shit.
he's got the frizzy hair and it looks very manufactured. It just isn't. There's nothing organic. Why did they just go back to the well and go to like classic Jason look? There would have made way more sense.
It goes
I-
back to your statement earlier where it's like every studio just has to put their stamp on it. I guess with the
I gotta,
Michael Myers
I,
thing.
like when I saw Jason for the first time, I'm watching the movie. I didn't see this in the theater. I wanted to so bad, but it never came to our town. And I wanted to skip school so I could watch it at home. I got it. I'm watching it, and fucking, I was so excited to watch it. The first time I see Jason, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm seeing like behind the scenes shit, like before they even make him up, and then like that's what he looks like. Like they didn't even bother making his like we're seeing his eye. Like didn't he get stabbed in the eye like or something? Something happened with his eye. Why are we seeing his eye? We can see around his eye. He doesn't look like a fucking. He doesn't look scary at all. What is happening?
Well,
he just
they
looks like
went
Kane
full-
Hodder with a mask
They
on.
went full lampoon parody of this one, right?
It is weird.
It's so silly. It's not unlike Leprechaun 4 in space, where they just really have fun with how stupid it really is.
H2O.
It's bad. It's not. I don't know. You mean Resurrection, maybe?
Yeah.
H2O.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on from that piece of shit. I guess Freddy vs. Jason is technically next. This was probably divisive, but I think this is a fine movie. It's totally fun. It serves its purpose. Don't
Very
take it seriously.
dated, but I enjoy it.
It's
came out
very
2000,
2004. It's very 2004. Everything about it's got that Ronnie
No,
Hughes.
it came out
stink.
earlier than that,
Ugh.
dude. It was 2000 or something. Right?
No, it's 04, bro.
Is it?
Oh,
2003, I think.
Oh, let me
Ronnie,
see.
you.
2003.
You might be right. 2003 sounds right.
I
Yeah,
have a-
03.
I have a soft spot for the Ronnie Yu poo. That Ronnie Yu
Ugh.
stink that he puts on
He's
his
shit,
movies.
dude.
I kind of like it. I
Bride of
kinda like that
Chucky's
Ronnie.
shit too.
I like Bride of Chucky. I'll
Ugh.
die in the hill.
Ugh.
There's something about it. There's something about it.
Just
It's
die then. I don't.
I kind of like something I like kind of about the way he like does shots and stuff because I
Yeah.
think both those movies have a similar look and I kind of like it. Even though it's like he didn't give a fuck if like the shots he wanted revealed like the fact that Jason was wearing padding in that shot where he was gonna fucking pull it around. It's like we can see that Jason's got like a weird fucking mask on. I don't give a fuck. I want this shot.
It's
I
not
like
so
it.
much. It's not so much a Ronnie Yu thing. I mean, Ronnie Yu has a very particular look, like you said. The shots and his color grading is very of the era, like deep blues, deep
Bleak.
purples. It's like a Rob Zombie music video, but it's also just a product of the era because we're in that era where you're having all the new metal soundtracks. You got Il Niños and you got
I kinda
Rob
like that
Zombie and you
about
got
it, though.
Power Man 5000.
I like that it's a product of its time because that's
Destiny's
also,
Child.
That's also very much a slasher. It's
a
like
good
an identifier. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it has to be encapsulated in the time that it came out. So
Exactly.
I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm wrong, but was this like early days of, was this shot on digital?
Look like it.
It looks like it would have been the first movie of both of those series that was shot on digital. It's kind of got that look. That was kind of like the era where I think it was, it wasn't the standard, I don't think quite yet, but those early 2000s where it was like,
I don't know. Fucking, I can't remember. Like fucking, yeah. So if we got this on Blu-ray, there wouldn't be a film grain look. I never thought about it. I do
Yeah,
it's
remember
got-
It was
watching.
always
got-
dark. This film was always dark, like a bluey
it's
dark.
got a real digital look to it to me. If
I-
I,
I-
It's always
yeah.
night.
Night
Night
Channel.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
was
it's like,
nighttime.
I do remember sitting in the theater and seeing Freddy for the first time. You kind of see that weird shot where it's kind of creeping up on his eye, and thinking like there is something weird. And then it would flash back. I don't think I was privy enough to realize that like the film and stuff like that. Fucking because I was like fucking the old footage looks better. It's shot on film. Fucking because like I was awed by getting to see fucking the ending of the worst fucking movie in the series, part 5 on the big screen at that point.
And it's also got that 2004 or 2003 CGI because in 2003, 2004, we hadn't figured it out yet. Those movies look like shit with CGI still. And got your nose, all that
Yeah.
stuff takes you out of it. And you got the fucking worm with the bong, or it's just so silly and funny, but it looks so bad. I've always wondered, like, why not just scrap these? If they look like this and you can't pull it off, I would want to just like leave it on the cutting room floor. Like, we can't have the got your nose. We got to figure something else out.
In
'cause
a
it doesn't
way,
look
I
good.
have to say, it's really hard to bridge Freddy over to Jason, and they figured out a way to do it that wasn't a total like.
It's fun.
I think just like
it serves its purpose. It's just a versus movie. It's a Universal Monsters versus movie, and
I had to point out that I think fucking kids who watch these movies in the next generation are probably gonna like bad CGI as much as we liked bad effects or when we were growing up. Probably.
Whatever that effect was, this effect was also a product of its time. That weird effect where Jason like split that guy in the fucking bed, right? The boyfriend, like whatever the fuck that effect was, where it was like
They kept-
shuddery.
They kept
That
doing
was
the
like a
shutter
thing.
effect on the fucking like
The
frame
shutter.
rate. It was weird.
And that was kind of a thing too. You would see in that era
And
sometimes. And
action
I-
shots. We're gonna film
Yeah.
action shots at a really low frame rate or whatever.
All right. So anyway, you don't take it. I don't. You don't treat this movie as canon. It's like a comic book where it's just for funsies. It gets you from point A to point B, where it's just like, hey, we just want to put these two icons together, and it's all about the final build-up, the final
Yeah.
fight, and it delivers. It's stupid. You don't take it seriously. It's got a weird glossy look to it. The actors are fucking horrible.
Yeah, shit.
But just it's all worth it. It's all worth it. That second where they successfully pulled Freddy into the real world and they got Jason there, and you just got
And
that look on
corn,
Freddy.
corn just starts playing basically.
I think it's El Nino or Head P. It's one of those. It's, I think it's Head P. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you see the look on Freddy's face where he realizes, oh shit, where am I? I'm fucked. And it's just so satisfying to see
It is.
Jason just fucking just trash him.
This movie has 6 out of 10 written all over it. At least
It's
6 out of 10.
just the only thing about it is just it's such a studio movie. It's just like they threw a bunch of money into it. You know, it's not like grassroots horror. It's like a studio fucking backed movie, which kind of
yeah.
it makes it a little generic, but there's nothing like Freddy versus Jason though.
It's so watchable. For all
This
its
is
flaws,
watchable. Are you kidding me?
I think it's so. It's a movie you could just put on. It's
This
so
movie has-
stupid.
it's like that movie that comes on like Thanksgiving and like you're just fucking sitting there and like you're just ignoring like your family members. And it's like kind of enjoyable to watch in that situation.
I've seen it once and I'll never watch it again.
This
Really?
movie has Catherine Isabel in it, and we thought it showed her boobs for a long time, but we found out that it was a body
Stunt.
double. But
Babe,
it fucking
don't make
it
me have to tell you twice. I love
It
that,
does.
dude.
Fucking, we didn't even mention that Part 5 is known to have Pamela Voorhees, who best rack in the series. Stacy, that's one of the reasons it's an S tier. This is probably the second best rack in the series. Fucking whoever the body double is that was pretending to be fucking Catherine Isabel.
Yeah, like I said, it's almost sacrilege, but it's so much. I think it's just fun. It's stupid fun, and if I'm ranking just on fun, I think it's a solid B. I think it's it's definitely better than 7.
It's a D.
It's
It's
better
a
than
D.
7.
It's
It's better than 8.
9.
It is. I think
It's better than 8. It is better than 8.
I would probably put it right after Part 6.
It's actually, it's better than 3.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
with B
no
as well.
way.
I
It's
would.
a D.
I agree with Zach. I would put it right after Part 6 personally.
Oh, you're crazy.
Maybe not. Maybe 3 might be a little bit better.
I would go 6-3.
3 might be a little better, yeah.
I would go
3
6-3.
is a
I would
little
go
better 'cause it's still
6-3,
classic
8.
Jason.
Freddy versus Jason 7. That's how I would go. So I would put it right.
Can I meet you in the middle? Can we?
I'm gonna say that's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Well, where does it stand with Todd?
I don't know. I'd probably say 8's a little better. than
I'd
Freddy
say this
versus
is better
Jason.
than Jason Goes to Hell. I give this a D plus. This is a shitty movie. This is a terrible movie.
You need to revisit it.
I'm not revisiting this shit, dude.
You make
Who
me
cares?
watch Magic Mike. We're watching this
You know
too when
what?
you get here.
We're not watching this. I'm not watching this, dude. This
I'm
is
not
this is
watching.
one of the worst Jasons, man.
Oh, I think he's a bad Jason. I don't like.
I like him.
I don't like how tall he is. I think he's too fucking big. He looks goofy. I don't really like the Jason at all. I mean, he
I
looks
like
like
him.
Jason, I guess, but
all style, no substance. Like Jason really doesn't have any personality. I feel like
he's a puppet in this. He really is just a puppet in the
Yeah,
movie.
he's just asleep most of the time.
Yeah.
This thing got an F minus once I saw Freddy's head and he was winking as his head was. Or
That's
Jason's
like
was
something
winking.
You
Freddy
gotta-
would
you-
do.
That is
you got-
the stupidest
No,
fucking
it's
gotta
symbolic.
think.
It's symbolic. It's basically like
you
it's
know he's
basically
not
Oh.
gonna die.
it's telling us this whole movie was basically
That's the
them giving us.
dumbest
But
fucking thing
listen
ever.
to me. This is the Illuminati showing us shit. They're letting us know that this is the only time you're going to be satisfied as fanboys in your life. We just
I
gave you
know,
head. We just gave you head. You're never going to experience that again on the
Dude.
big screen.
Al
They
Snow
were-
comes out of nowhere.
They were giving you exactly what they were selling, even down to the promo material for this, where they were doing like the prize fighter thing, where they're challenging each other, doing the press conference. I mean, like it was.
This
all
is
just a
every
gimmick.
generic horror movie from 2003. This is just
It kind of
every
is.
all shit movie from 2003.
It kind of is. But
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm
Look,
not saying
Todd,
it's fucking
just
not.
like you're swearing up and down that Limp Bizkit really had good albums. It's junk food.
They
You
do.
like it because it's junk food. This movie's junk food.
I like it, but I wouldn't consider it better than Part 7 or Part 8.
This movie is pure AIDS Limp Bizkit.
You don't think like this is a better Freddy vs. Jason than what 7 Freddy vs. Carrie is?
No,
you think
hell
that's a
no.
better movie?
Oh, I
Really?
take that any day. I think he's a better Jason because we're going based off of Jason movies. We're not going based off Freddy.
You're
Well,
right. You're
we
absolutely
ranked
right.
we put this on the Freddy tier list, so I felt like we had to put it on this one too.
I think this is fun as a Jason movie too.
I think it's fun.
as for both. Of
I
them.
think it's gonna stay right there, and let's cap it off by talking about this shit heap, which is the remake. I think the
Hey, the
worst
second
crime.
one's out now too, isn't it?
What? No, they got the series.
That's
This is the
definitely
latest
the
one.
1C grade out of all of them. Like
It's
it's the
boring.
1C for me. The 1C.
Oh, I can't even.
It's definitely
I can't-
better than Jason Goes to Hell and X. It's
I'm with
I would
Josh
put
on
it-
this. I would put this is
Oh,
a C movie.
I was
It's not-
confused because you don't have Never Hike Alone.
What?
Those aren't real fucking movies for the series. Though.
You're
They're
right.
fan movies.
We did them. We did it.
All right. Well, I think. I feel like this movie is just so fucking boring. It's bland. It
It's
lacks
just- yeah.
substance. It has no identity. It's just
well, this is like the movie you just said. Like, oh, it's like every other movie that horror movie that was coming out. Blah blah blah.
this is
I didn't feel that way about Freddy versus Jason. I felt that way about this movie.
absolutely 100%.
Platinum Dunes, fucking generic formulaic garbage. Like, but
If you
it's
ta- yeah.
it's
They're
not
both-
as
they're both-
bad.
It's still a Jason movie.
You take Jason out of this and you put him with any other generic stupid killer, it would have been just some fucking straight to DVD bullshit. It's just not good. I think it's boring. I don't remember a damn thing about this. I just remember it had Willa Ford in it, that one chick who had that one hit song in like the TRL days.
This is
Uh,
I
There's
remember
some
the
good
thing where
stuff in
she's
there.
chained up down there in the thing.
the
There's
one,
some good stuff in there,
Talking
but
to him.
unfortunately, it's all within the first like fucking 20 minutes of the movie.
the
Like that
most,
fucking machete through the fucking head was fucking great.
Yeah, the through the little fucking chopping thing that was cool too.
Okay, well,
There's a couple. Fucking the most memorable scene I can think of. I've seen this movie all the way through one time. I'm pretty sure the most memorable thing I remember is fucking the kill where he's on the fucking raft and she's underneath it. That's the only thing I remember. Fucking this is a mediocre movie. It's very mediocre.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so wait, so you boys down there, Josh and Mac, you guys give it a C. I'll be friendly
No,
and say
I
it's a
think
hair better than these two, but it's got to go at the bottom.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say it's a D.
it's
I
bad.
didn't say it was a C.
It's better than those two. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely.
still in the same fucking area. I'm not gonna.
Right.
I
That's a
remember
hunk of
people.
shit.
People used to talk about like, oh, I like characters in this. I like the guy that says
I don't remember anyone in it.
People bring up the perfect nipple placement guy. The only thing I remember about him is that he was so hateable. The fucking this is like kind of there was not there wasn't really a fucking Crispin Glover in this movie. Fucking there wasn't a
I think I've
likable
seen this movie
dork.
maybe 3 or 4 times. I don't, if that.
You've
I
seen it
don't
more
see
than I
where-
have.
So where you at, Zach? Where
If
are you
that.
ranking it?
Fucking. Fuck, did you guys already give yours?
D.
Yeah,
That's
we're
a perfect spot. Just put it there.
It
That's
probably is.
yeah, it fucking sucks. Okay, so let's wrap it up, man. Look, nothing actually landed in the C column. That's funny.
Freddy vs. Jason.
All right, guys. Well, everybody in the chat, did you enjoy it? We've been trying to do this for a long time.
I
and
love
it's-
how part 5 is the
Isn't that
Top
weird?
tier, motherfuckers. Hell
weird.
yes. Fucking salute.
All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody who
Oh,
showed up
yeah.
in the chat, and yeah, I think it turned out to be a pretty interesting list.
I apologize for the list, everybody.
No, it turned out fine. Thank you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. We're gonna go ahead and scrap Choose Your Destiny for this week because we're going long, but we'll be back next week with it. And let us know what you want to hear. We haven't decided on a topic yet, so
Yeah, Riverman's like, yeah. Like, let's end it. Hurry. And then we end it and here.
By the way, check out my tank top. I wore it just for the show. Check it
oh
out.
hell yeah!
Oh,
There
hell
you
yeah.
go. Hey, the best in the franchise, right there, baby.
I'm sure next
First
week
one?
Todd and I are going to talk about our experiences at the convention and all that stuff. So we'll be talking about certain stuff. But yeah, I'm not even going to go into the spiel, man. Like and subscribe, all the bullshit. Check out Josh James R-rated horror channel.
The R-rated show. Yeah.
R-rated show. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm like so fucking
old name, yeah.
2017, 2018 R-rated show. All right, guys. Catch you later. Happy weekend. Oh, it's not. It's my weekend. Happy pre-Friday. Later.
See you guys.